Hey guys, welcome to Fanfic Fanatics. So in today's video we are gonna see, what if Deku had Saiyan Bloodline and had Harem? Before starting, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe if you are interested in MHA fanfictions. This story is The Forgotten Bloodline by 52,471 Turkmenistani Manits. Now without wasting any more time, let's dive in. After the students were able to fend off the Lage of Villains' attack, defeating the Honkai beasts and defeating a powerful creature known as the Nomu, the students ended victorious, with no casualties, but many injured. The Nomu is stronger, as it has resistance to elements, so visions are kinda useless against it. I told you, you're just a Deku, don't you see? You did nothing to the Nomu and you ended up breaking your arm. You made yourself look stupid. Honestly, I don't know why I am siblings with someone like you, Izumi said, walking away from her brother, who was just sitting on the ground with his right arm broken as he stares at the ground, having plenty of thoughts on his mind. Izuku truly hated what Izumi said, but she was right. He tried to attack Nomu with one for all, but it barked did any damage and he ended up breaking his arm. All in all, it made him look like a fool. Unlike other students and his classmates, Deku wasn't able to do much. Sure, he, Mineta and Tsuyu stopped some villains at the water zone of the USJ, but that was it, although he did save someone, but ended up getting more injuries. Are you alright? Izuku turns and sees the one who he saved. Oh, you're the girl I saved from the vision class, Izuku said. Yep. I'm Yoimiya, thanks a lot for saving me. I was really surprised when that Nomu thing was immune to my pyro arrows. So what's your name? Yoimiya asked. Izuku Midoriya. Yoimiya then noticed his injured arm. Oh, you're hurt badly, let me help you get help, Yoimiya said. She helps Izuku stand up, as paramedics then go help him and escort him away. I'll see you tomorrow, Yoimiya yelled. Izuku didn't respond or anything, but just made his way so he can get healed. Time skip. Izuku was now in his room, as he was lying down and looking at the roof of his room. Why am I so weak? Why am I such a Deku? I just keep breaking my limbs. Kachin, Izumi and Katsumi are just so strong. Even if I was chosen by All Might to be his successor, I don't know if I really can be a hero, Izuku said. He then shuts his eyes, as he gets ready to sleep. Tomorrow is another day. Once I heal, I gotta get ready to train again, Izuku thought. The next day. Izumi, please go wake up your brother, he usually doesn't oversleep, Inko said. Fine, Izumi said. She walks to his room, and she sees that he was asleep, but she noticed his cast was no longer. Well, a cast, his arm was just covered in bandages. Huh? How did his cast break? Weird, but whatever, Izumi thought. She begins to shake him. Oi, wake up, Izumi said. Izuku then wakes up, as he slowly sits up, holding his head. You overslept, hurry up and get ready, Izumi said in an irritated tone as she leaves his room. Ugh. Why did I oversleep? I usually don't. But why do I feel great? Izuku muttered to himself. He then noticed his cast was broken. What the? Why is my cast broken? Izuku mutters. He takes off the bandage and the cast, and he sees that his arm was healed. My arm healed overnight. This ain't right, Izuku said. He gets up and, for some reason, Izuku just felt stronger. He noticed most of his injuries were healed, but he had a few scratches and bruises. But then he noticed that on his waist was a monkey tail. What the? A tail? Izuku said. He tries to move the tail around, and it does. Wait, so this is my tail? Does this mean that I'm not actually quirkless? Izuku said. Oi! Hurry up! Izumi yelled from outside his door. Hi! Izuku yelled back. He then controls the tail, and he was able to wrap the tail around his waist like a belt. I'll have to ask Recovery Girl to check this out, Izuku thought as he finally leaves his room. Time skip. Izuku is now eating lunch by himself. Like usual, as he was planning to finish lunch, then afterwards he would go to the infirmary so he could get his tail checked out. Oh. Well, I got lucky. Izuku looked up and he sees Yoimiya was there. Oh, Yoimiya, Izuku said. I told you I'd see you tomorrow. Well, I'd see you again, at least. Can I sit with you? Yoimiya asked. Sure. I guess, Izuku said. Yoimiya happily sits down. How did your arm heal overnight? Is it your quirk or something? Yoimiya asked. No, it's not. Izuku said. Okay. So what is your quirk? Does it have anything to do with being a monkey? Yoimiya asked. Izuku looks at her confused. What are you talking about? Izuku asked. Well, your tail, Yoimiya said. Izuku's eyes widen. He looks down to see his tail unwrapped. Shoot, Izuku said. He quickly wraps his tail around his waist. Actually, now that I think about it, I don't remember seeing that tail yesterday, Yoimiya said. Oh. Okay. When I woke up this morning this tail was already on my waist, and my arm was somehow healed. I don't know why. All I know is that my quirk doesn't have anything to do with these. Izuku said. I see. Did you get it checked? Yoimiya asked. I was about to after I finished eating, Izuku said. Oh, I'll let you eat, then we can go. Does your parents know? Yoimiya asked. No. I didn't want them to know, Izuku said. Why? They're your family. Did you not tell even your sister? Yoimiya asked. I probably trust you more than my own sister, and my mom and I aren't the closest. My mom's attention is usually focused on my sister, Izuku said. Oh, I see. Anyway, enough with the depressing stuff, I'll let you finish, Yoimiya said. Oh okay. Izuku said time skip. So you grow a monkey tail and your arm heals from being broken overnight. Weird indeed, you probably got another quirk. Which is quite rare. Let me do a few tests, Recovery Girl said. She just starts by inspecting his tail and grabbing it gently. Do you feel that? Recovery Girl asked. Why yeah. Izuku said. Recovery Girl tests by firmly grasping his tail and squeezing it hard. Izuku slightly jumps and falls of the infirmary bed, laying on the ground like he was paralyzed or something. So you really are connected. It seems you become weak when your tail is grabbed too hard. Take note of that. Okay. Recovery Girl said, letting go of his tail. Oh okay. At least give me a warning next time, Izuku said, slowly getting up. Apologies. Anyways, let's continue the rest of the tests, Recovery Girl said. Time skip. Recovery Girl returns with the results of Izuku, from a blood test and a quirk test. Oh, that kinda took a while. Anyway, what's the result? Yoimiya asked curiously. Strangely, you aren't a late bloomer, you didn't bloom another quirk. No quirk related to your tail, Recovery Girl said. Huh? That's weird. Yoimiya said. On the other hand, your blood showed that your body seemed to have undergone some changes. From what I got from your results, your body has gotten stronger, in a way. Your stamina and strength seem to have increased. It is still odd, Recovery Girl said. Ugh. My head kinda hurts, and I could have sworn I heard someone say, Ki, Izuku said. Ki? Maybe Lisa could assist you with that, Recovery Girl said. Sure. I guess I can go ask her for information, Izuku said. I'm sorry but I gotta go, class will start soon, Yoimiya said. It's alright, I'll go to the library quickly and I'll head to my class, Izuku said. Alrighty. See you around, Yoimiya said, leaving ahead, not long after Izuku follows behind and leaves. Time skip. Izuku makes it to the school's library, and there he meets with the Witch of Purple Rose, aka the librarian, Lisa Mincy, one of the people that Izuku is close with. She is one of the people that cares for him. Oh, hello there cutie. It's been quite some time since I last saw you. How are you? Lisa asked. I am okay Lisa. I was wondering if you have a book about Ki? Izuku asked. Ki? This is the first time I've heard that word. Let me see, Lisa said, as she looks things up on the library's computer. Don't get confused, this is Genshin in modern world. Oh. There is one book in this library that mentions Ki. Let me go get it, Lisa said. A few minutes later, Lisa comes back with a book that looked quite old and dusty. I'm a little surprised that we have this, but anyways, here you go, Lisa said, giving the book. Thanks. So when do I give this back? Izuku asked. Actually, you can have that book. It's quite outdated and old, it doesn't need to be returned. No need to worry, Lisa said. Oh, thanks, Izuku said. You're welcome cutie, now head to your class or you'll be late, Lisa said. Oh, right. Thanks again, Izuku said. Running out of the library, Lisa simply waved and smiled at him back. Time skip. At the end of class, Izuku quickly packs away his things and gets ready to leave. He puts his bag on his back. Hey nerd. Izuku turns to his left, only to be met with a punch in the face by Katsuki. You like that? Katsuki asked. No fighting in the class? Iida said. Shut up. Katsuki yelled, but to his shock, Izuku just looks at him, his fist still on Izuku's face. Huh? Izuku moves his hand away. Kachan, I got to go, Izuku said, quickly leaving the classroom. Weird. Deku would have fallen to the ground and started crying. Now my punch didn't do sh*t, Katsuki said. You were being weak. Katsumi said. Shut the h*ll up, Katsuki said. Time skip. Izuku can be seen walking home, as he was currently reading the book. Weird. Kachan's punch didn't hurt. Never mind, let's see what this book has, Izuku said as he begins to read the book in. Ki is life force energy. Ki is energy that is found in living beings. An individual is able to draw out the ki to use it for techniques such as enhancing one's speed, strength, endurance and stamina. If not trained, only little ki can be found in the living being, but the more training, the stronger the ki becomes. Izuku reads. He then makes it to Dagoba Beach that was all clean from his training many months ago. He decides to go there. Izuku takes off his uniform, so he was just wearing his long sleeve and folds it up. He then reads the book some more. Let's see. So if I utilize the ki within my body, I can use it to my advantage and manipulate it. But it's still odd. What was that voice that said ki? Maybe there's a reason. I guess I can try it out, Izuku said. He closes his eyes and focuses. At first, nothing seemed to happen, but he continues and focuses, but suddenly, he feels a burst of energy. He opens his eyes and suddenly, a white aura forms around him, and he blows away some trash and sand away. Whoa. This feels amazing, Izuku said, looking at himself. He attempts to power down and stop it, and the aura goes away. Feeling a bit excited, he goes back to the book. What else can I do? Izuku asked. He reads the book again, and reads again that he is able to increase his strength and speed. He decides to test that. Izuku tries and powers up, which he still found difficulty in, but he gets it. He walks towards a broken fridge. He then attempts to crush the fridge, and he was able to crush it like All Might did. Whoa. I was able to crush it. I didn't even need to use one for all, Izuku said. He powers down. He goes back to the book and reads it again. Let's see. Huh? Ki blast? Izuku reads. Izuku then aims his hand at a barrel and focuses the ki on hand, and nothing seems to happen, but after a little while, Izuku shoots a single ki blast at a barrel and it destroys the barrel, which kinda blows up and causes the ground to shake a little. Oh. Okay, I think that's enough. I'll continue tomorrow, Izuku said. He quickly packs his things and leaves the scene. A few days later, after Izuku finds the book about ki. Where is he? Hatsune Miku asked herself, as it had been weeks since she last saw Izuku, since she had been busy with performances and such, and she was lucky enough to get free time. Miku asked Inko for his whereabouts, but she didn't have a clue, and Izumi wasn't there at the house. After over an hour of walking, Miku finally reaches Dagoba Beach and finds him doing one-handed push-up with a heavy barrel on his back. Oh, there he is, Miku said. She walks to him and calls his name. Izuku. Izuku stops his push-ups and turns his head to Miku. Oh, Miku. It's been a while, Izuku said. He jumps up and the barrel flies to the air. Izuku then jumps up high and kicks the barrel away back to the pile of trash and lands safely on the ground. In just a few days, Izuku was able to use ki to enhance his attacks and his speed, and he was also able to shoot ki blast and small energy beams, as well as using ki sense, but nevertheless, Izuku definitely felt stronger, and he was stronger than before. I'm happy to see you're doing well. Has your sister and Katsuki been bullying you again? Miku asked. I haven't encountered them today, surprisingly. They're probably hanging out the whole day again, so what's up? Izuku asked. I haven't visited you for weeks. I just wanted to see you again, and I was hoping to not see you hurt again. So how are you? Miku asked. I'm doing all right. I was just training, Izuku said. Miku nods, but she looks down and notices his tail that's wrapped around his waist. When did you get that monkey tail? I don't remember you having one, Miku said. Yeah, this tail appeared on my waist a few days ago. I don't know what it is. I had it checked and it isn't connected with a quirk, so I didn't bloom a quirk, so the tale is still a mystery to me, Izuku said. Ah. Okay. Miku said. Her phone suddenly buzzes. She takes her phone and checks. Seriously? Miku said, her face showing that she was annoyed and somewhat angry. What's wrong? Izuku asked. Looks like I have to go and practice for another performance, Miku said. Oh, I see, Izuku said. Well, I have to go now. Take care, Izuku, and don't overwork. Okay. See you, Miku said as she quickly leaves. Izuku waves back with small smile on his face. When Miku has left and was now out of sight, Izuku goes and reads the book and continues. Okay. Let's try. This, Izuku said. He backs away from the book, he closes his eyes and focuses, letting the ki flow in him. Izuku's hair begins to move a little, and in a few seconds, Izuku began to float, and just like that, he began to fly in the air. He opens his eyes and sees that he was no longer on the ground. He smiles at this. Wow. I'm actually flying, Izuku said. He begins to fly around, but he moved slowly, still getting used to it. This is kinda difficult, Izuku said, but suddenly, he stops flying and falls to the ground. Oh she. Izuku didn't finish his cursing as he hits the ground, head first, and he lies face down. Ugh. My head. That really hurt. I guess I'll take a rest and continue later, Izuku said, but he suddenly gets another memory, and he hears a voice. Izuku pushes himself up and holds his head. What is the Kamehameha? Izuku muttered. As that is what he heard, he gets up, and visions the memory he got. Okay. Let's see, Izuku said. He puts his hands together, then he goes into position, as he focuses the ki onto his hands. Ha, me, Izuku mutters, as blue ki begins to form in his hands. He looks at his hands in surprise, but then he releases the ki blast and he shoots a blue energy beam directly to the ocean, as it pushes the water aside. Eventually, it goes in the water and hits the ground underwater, causing an explosion in the water to occur. Whoa, Izuku said, as he falls to the ground. That took a lot of ki. I need to train more. I'll actually take a break, and I'll continue, Izuku said, as he sits down and relaxes, and enjoyed the breeze of the beach. Time skip. The next day. We see Izuku walking towards his classroom, and he enters his classroom, opening the door, but he suddenly sensed that someone was to attack him. He turns to his left and he was able to block the attack with just one arm. He looks to see the one who attacked him was Katsuki once again. Kachan, Izuku asked. What the? Katsuki said, surprised that Izuku was able to block his attack with relative ease. Whoa, how'd you block his attack? He did a surprise attack and I was sure you were gonna get hit, Kaminari said surprised. I sense as he was going to attack me, Izuku said. That's when he realized that he could sense that everyone had ki, but unlike his own ki, it was very little. Sensed him. Is that a part of your quirk? Uraraka asked. Yeah. Wait, I sense Sensei coming in the classroom, Izuku said. He pushes Katsuki's arm away and goes to his seat while Katsuki just looked shocked. Wow, that was weak, Izumi said. Shut the H*LL up. Katsuki yelled, and right on cue, Aizawa enters the classroom, and everyone goes to be seated, who were not sitting, at least. Aizawa then walks to his desk. Alright, listen up, the sports festival is coming soon, and Nezu told me something interesting. Originally, the last segment of the sports festival was that all of you would have a mock battle with everyone in the hero department, but Nezu decided to combine your battle with the class of those with visions, Aizawa said. What? But sensei, that's unfair, Mina said. Yeah, they're way more powerful than us. Kaminari said. I hate this, Mineta said, as everyone else was also a bit confused and angry at why this was happening. Quiet, Aizawa said, activating his quirk, and with that, everyone behaves and he then deactivates his quirk. Unfair. This is reality, nothing is fair, and being a hero is never easy, even if they may be stronger than you. That does not mean you should give up immediately. Besides, you still have a week of training. Go beyond your limits, Aizawa said. Yes, sensei, Iida said. Going up against those with visions. No, I shouldn't be negative. I still have a week left to train. I got a master in controlling ki, especially on flying. I have been neglecting one for all, great Izuku said to himself in his mind. It was the day of the Union Academy Sports Festival, as the heroes have been training hard. Are you ready? Present Mike yelled. Everyone else yells in excitement and anticipation for what is to come. All right, today is the day for Union Academy's Sports Festival. We got something special for you all. It is going to be a 10 vs 10 match of the Hero Department versus the Vision Department. Present Mike said. And on the arena, all of the people from the Hero Department and all from the Vision Department were there. So here are the rules. It is a 10 vs 10 match. The first team to have all members eliminated loses. The Vision class are allowed to use their weapons, but have been adjusted to not actually wound the enemy. One is considered eliminated when they are either no longer able to fight, or they are too injured, or they choose to forfeit, or they are out of the ring. And yeah, that's it. Now let's get things started. Present Mike yelled, and once again the crowd yells again. Alright, the matches will now be shown on the screen. Midnight said. The screen then lights up and shows the matches. Hiroshima vs Ganyu, Kendo vs Jin, Todoroki vs Chilled, Kaminari vs Wanderer, Katsuki vs Shao, Katsumi vs Sino, Tetsu vs Razor, Tokiyami vs Haizu, Izuku vs Dihaya, Izumi vs Yoimiya. Are you kidding me? Kaminari yelled. Kaminari was the only one that was actually scared, as everyone else was somewhat calm, while others were relieved they didn't have to fight. Dihaya? Who even is that? Izuku asked himself, but suddenly, he gets bonked on the head, which makes him flinch and hold his head in pain. Ah, Izuku groans. He turns around to see Dihaya herself. That would be me, Dihaya said. Oh, hi, Izuku said. Yeah, sorry for bonking you, it was just my way to get your attention. Anyway, don't go crying to your mama when we fight, alright? Dihaya said. She pats him on the head and then leaves. Hey, Izuku turns to his left and see Yoimiya. Oh, Yoimiya, it's been a while, Izuku said. Yeah, it has. Where were you anyway? You never even bothered messaging me in the phone. Yoimiya said. You never gave me your number, Izuku said. Oh, it slipped my mind. Hey, anyway, where have you been again? Yoimiya asked. I was just training. Did you need something? Izuku asked. No, I just wanted to say good luck. Dihaya is pretty strong. Also, what's your sister's quirk? Yoimiya asked. It's pyrokinesis. Good luck to you too, Izuku said. Yeah, Yoimiya said as she goes back to her group. Izuku then walks back too, as the first match was to begin. Time skip. Okay, I'll do it real quick. Hiroshima vs Ganyu equals Ganyu wins. Kendo vs Jin equals Jin wins. Todoroki vs Chilled equals Chilled wins. Kaminari vs Wanderer equals Wanderer wins. Katsuki vs Shao equals Shao wins. Katsumi vs Sino equals Sino wins. Tetsu vs Razor equals Tetsu wins. Tokiyami vs Haizu equals Tokiyami wins. And after all of that, it was finally Izuku vs Dihaya, and they were now on the area. Izuku just stands while Dihaya begins to warm up or stretch. I'll make it fair. I won't use my claymore, and I won't go too hard on you, alright? Dihaya said. Izuku doesn't reply as he cracks his knuckles. Alright, are you both ready? Midnight asked. Yeah, yes, Izuku and Dihaya said at the same time. Alright, begin. Midnight yells, using her whip on the ground, as the match begins. Izuku activates One for All, as green lightning begins to form around him. Yes, he had achieved full cowl, but he could only use it at 5%. Looks like Midoriya Shonen has been doing plenty of training. All Might thought, watching from the teacher's lounge. Dihaya rushes in and does a right hook, which Izuku blocks with relative ease. He counters with a punch, but Dihaya quickly blocks it, but is slightly pushed back from the punch. Izuku attempts a flurry of punches, but Dihaya either dodges and weaves or blocks with relative ease. Izuku attempts another punch to the face, which Dihaya catches his fist. She pulls his arm sideways and she counters with a punch on the face. She lets go of Izuku's hand and follows up with a powerful punch in the gut. She follows up and launches him away with a powerful kick. Izuku still stands tall, but holds his gut in pain. Your mommy teach you that? Come on, I know you got more than this. Dihaya said. Izuku quickly flicks his finger, shooting out an air bullet that hits Dihaya straight at the gut, which makes her groan in pain and hold her gut. Ah, that was pretty good, never mind. Gloves off, Dihaya yells, as her arms are now ignited in fire as she rushes towards him. Izuku dodges an uppercut, but Dihaya flips and she attempts to hit with a pyro-infused kick. Izuku dodges it by jumping back, but Dihaya quickly rushes in and launches a flurry of attacks, which forces Izuku to block them, but he keeps getting pushed back and getting closer to the edge of the arena. Sorry, I'm not letting myself get cocky, I'm gonna eliminate you so that we'll get the win. Dihaya said as she then lands a powerful punch, which launches Izuku further and flying into the air. No, I'm gonna get out of the arena, Izuku thought, looking that he was going to fall off the arena. I didn't want to reveal it, but I guess I have no choice, Izuku thought. And right before he falls to the ground off the stage, he was able to use his ki to fly and almost touches the ground. What the? Dihaya said. Huh, Midoriya can fly, Mineta yelled. I thought his quirk was just the stockpiling quirk, Kirishima said. What the? Young Midoriya. How are you flying? One for All should not have these abilities, how is this possible? All Might thought. Midnight looks and sees that Izuku was not touching the ground. Izuku Midoriya is not eliminated. He has not fallen of the arena, Midnight announced. Nice one Midoriya, Kaminari yelled. Izuku then flies back on the stage and lands. Well, that's interesting, guess it ain't over yet, Dihaya said. She gets ready for Izuku to rush towards her, but to her shock, Izuku suddenly appears in front of her, but before Dihaya could react, Izuku lands a powerful punch that pushes Dihaya across the arena, nearly knocking her off the arena. What the heck? Dihaya said, shocked that his single punch nearly knocked her off. He can teleport, Kaminari yelled. He nearly punched Dihaya off the arena with one punch, it seems he was hiding his true strength. Tainari said. Looks like he's stronger than I thought, it seems we have a better challenge, Chilled said. Dihaya runs towards Izuku and begins her flurry of pyro-infused attacks again, but Izuku was able to dodge them this time. Dihaya attempts a stronger attack, but he dodges by vanishing. Before anything, Izuku appears behind Dihaya and lands a powerful kick on her back, which launches her forward. Before Dihaya could react, Izuku appears in front of her and lands a powerful kick, launching her away again, which makes her fall to the ground. Dihaya quickly gets up, but doesn't waste time and rushes back. She attempts a right hook, but Izuku dodges to the side and he lands a knee strike. Then he puts his hands together and does a sledgehammer strike, forcing her to the ground. Dihaya quickly recovers. She grabs his leg and lifts him, standing up, but Izuku kicks her at the side of her head, making her let go. Izuku lands on the ground, and he lands with his hands and does a black flip. He then rushes back in and kicks her in the gut, launching her off of the arena and hitting the ground. Dihaya is out of bounds. Izuku Midoriya is the winner. And with that, everyone began to scream and yell out of excitement as one of the best battles to be seen had just happened. Dihaya groans as she sits up, holding her gut from the pain. She then notices a hand. She looks up to see Izuku lending his hand out. Dihaya smiles and takes his hand and gets up. Thanks, sorry I underestimated you, Dihaya said. It's all right, Izuku said. You really surprised me with that fight. Didn't expect you to fly. Let me properly introduce myself, I'm Dihaya. I'm Izuku Midoriya. The two then shake hands, as they had forged a friendship. Time skip. Izuku was now with the rest of 1A, as he was watching the match of Izumi and Yoimiya. Almost everyone asked about his flying and teleporting abilities, but he did not say anything and just kept quiet, but now, his anger was rising. As he can see that Izumi was showing no mercy to Yoimiya, as she was struggling to fight against her. Hey, are you trying to kill me or something? This is just a sports festival, Yoimiya said. Izumi doesn't reply and shoots out a fireball. Yoimiya had no choice but to block with her weapon, but her bow breaks into two, the pieces falling to the side. Hey, that's not fair, Yoimiya yelled, but Izumi just launches her back with a fire attack. Forfeit. Izumi yells. No, I'm not gonna give up so easily. Yoimiya said. Despite not having a weapon, she knew a little combat, but was quite useless because she couldn't use her pyro abilities like Dihaya. Izumi then kicks Yoimiya in the knee, which then breaks her knee. Ah! Yoimiya screams, as she falls to the ground, and holds her knee in pain, as she begins to cry from the pain. I said forfeit, Izumi said, losing her patience. And no, Yoimiya said, trying to get up. Izumi then ignites her fist. Izumi, that's enough. Midnight yells. Let me give you one piece of advice. Stay away from my brother, unless you want to be seen as another piece of garbage, Izumi said, but it wasn't that loud, but enough for Yoimiya to hear. I'm not leaving your brother, you're the jerk that bullies and ignores his brother. Yoimiya said. I'm tired of you, Izumi said, she then gets ready to punch her. Don't you dare do it, Izumi. Midnight yelled, but Izumi ignores and gets ready to hit her, but right before she does, something suddenly lands on the arena which shakes the ground. Everyone looks and sees that it was Izuku who was now on the stage. Wait, when did Midoriya get there? Jiro asked. The ground was shaking, and some debris or small pebbles began to float, as Izuku's hair was flowing upwards, his face filled with anger. Izuku had the same white ki aura around him and looked at Izumi with rage. What, Izu? Before Izumi could finish, Izuku suddenly kicks Izumi away out of the arena, buried into the wall. Everyone was just shocked by the display of strength, but the first to snap out was Midnight. Due to Izumi Midoriya going too far and badly injuring Yoimiya Naganohara, Izumi Midoriya is disqualified. And Yoimiya will be removed due to the injuries. Midnight announced. Damn, what the FCK is wrong with her, Kiana said. What a jerk, March 7th said. Izuku then gently carries Yoimiya and carries her to the infirmary. Izuku now showed the people just how strong he truly was. Well, she should be fine, she just needs a bit of rest, Recovery Girl said, as Yoimiya's broken knee was now healed, but she now felt tired, and yes, Izuku brought Yoimiya to the infirmary. Thanks Granny, but can I watch Izuku's matches? Yoimiya asked. No, you need to rest here, Recovery Girl said. Ah, well, anyway, thanks for taking me here, Izuku, and for saving me, Yoimiya said. You're welcome. Still, I don't know why she wanted to hurt you really badly. Izuku said. She wanted me to stay away from you, if I did then I would look bad, but I didn't care. I'm your friend and I didn't want to betray you just because of popularity, Yoimiya said. Izuku was surprised by this, he smiled at her. Thank you Yoimiya. You don't know how much that means to me. Izuku said. Yoimiya smiles. Hee, I should head back now, just get some rest, Izuku said. Okay. Good luck then. Yoimiya said. Izuku nods as he leaves the infirmary to head back to the arena. Time skip. When he arrives, he sees Tetsu getting knocked out of the arena by Shao. Tetsu is out of bounds. Shao is the winner, Midnight announced. As the crowd roars in excitement, Izuku looks at the board to see that Tetsu and Tokiyami had already been defeated while he was away, as Tokiyami was bested by Sino. So now, all that's left was Izuku versus Jin, Sino, Shield, Wanderer, Shao and Ganyu. I am against 6 people. Izuku mutters. Oi, Midoriya. Izuku turns to see Mineta calling out for him. Izuku walks to him. This is a 1v6. There's no way you can win, just forfeit now dude. Kaminari said. Yeah, there's no way you can win. Shao, Shield, Shao and Wanderer are really strong, you know. Mineta said. Are you 2 idiots? Did you forget his fight against Dihaya? How he beat her? The fact he could fly and teleport? Mina asked. He's facing against the strongest dudes in the Vision class, how is he supposed to win? Kaminari asked. He's got to try, at least. Uraraka said. Next match, Izuku versus Jin. Present Mike yelled. Good luck bro. Kirishima said. Izuku doesn't reply but leaves without saying anything. Time skip. I'll make it real quick. Izuku was able to defeat Jin with ease. The match was a little disappointing for everyone because Jin was knocked out with a single punch from Izuku. Then he had his fight against Ganyu, in which he also won easily. All it took was one kick and she was out of the ring. However, Nezu had an even more crazy idea, which would provide a lot of entertainment for the people to watch. You want him to fight all four at once. That is quite unfair, Ningguang said. Considering how well he is doing, and the display of his strength, I see that he has the capability to fight the four of them at once. Nezu said. I don't know about this, why not just continue it like usual? Teresa asked. Well, why not? Would it not be interesting? Besides, are you not curious of how strong he truly is? I feel there is more to his power than what has been shown so far, Nezu said. Just because he defeat Jin and Ganyu with one hit doesn't mean he's unstoppable, Herta said. You have a point. Does this have anything to do with One for All Might? Himeko HSR asked. Yes, the teachers know. No, One for All does not give the ability to fly, but young Midoriya told me he was quirkless. All Might said. Well, I do not know. You see, Midoriya came to me in the infirmary, because he grew some monkey tail. However, after a quirk test, it revealed that he had not developed a quirk, but his body's strength, stamina, endurance, speed, agility and senses have increased significantly. Recovery Girl said. Is that so? How interesting, Kaya said. Oh well, I suppose it doesn't matter what's the choice, because I already decided for it to happen anyway, Nezu said. What, since when? All Might asked, scared and afraid for his student that he was going to fight four people at once. Just a few minutes ago, Nezu said. All right, it's time for THR final match. Present Mike announced. There has been a special twist, so now, Midoriya will fight Sino, Shao, Wanderer and Shield all at once. Present Mike said, which makes the people scream in excitement. MOTHERFU. Scene shift. Izuku is now seen on the arena, with one side as just Izuku, while the other consists of the other four. I wasn't expecting to fight alongside each of you. Shield said. Just don't get in my way, Wanderer said. Let's just show how powerful we are, Shield said, as he, Shao and Sino then show more of their power. Looks like Shield, Sino and Shao are not holding back anymore. Will Midoriya be able to beat them like how he easily beat Ganyu and Jin? Present Mike asked. Why did you have to say it like that? Jin said. Izuku activates One for All at 5%, and he activates his ki and powers up. Alright. Here goes. Izuku Soud. Begin. Midnight said. In the blink of an eye, Shao appears behind Izuku and attempts to hit him with his polearm, but Izuku manages to catch the attack, but Wanderer appears in front of him and attacks him with an Anemo blast, launching Izuku away. Izuku quickly recovers and stops himself. Sino begins to launch a flurry of attacks, which Izuku dodges each time, but Shield suddenly appears and hits him with his Hydro-Electro Blade and launches Izuku away, but while doing so, he launches a ki beam at them. It almost hit Wanderer, but he dodges it in time, but before anything, Shao appears behind him and hits him on his back, launching him towards Sino who then attacks and launches him upward. And while he was in the air, Wanderer hits him with another Anemo blast and launches him right back at the ground, launching him into the ground. Wanderer then flies down and attempts to hit him with another Anemo attack, going in the dust and it caused the area to shake. But suddenly, the dust and everyone else was pushed back by Izuku, using his ki. Izuku rushes towards Chilled and he punches Chilled, which launches him back. Chilled grunts. Sino attempts to grab him, but Izuku suddenly disappears and he appears behind Sino and does a roundhouse kick, launching Sino away. Shao appears above Izuku and attempts to hit him, but Izuku jumps back and dodges the attack. But Shao quickly appears behind him and was ready to attack. Izuku turns around, ready to attack, but Chilled then lands a powerful attack on him. Then Shao launches him upward, and while he was stunned, Wanderer was already there, as he then unleashes a powerful Anemo attack. This attack then launches Izuku right back into the ground. Wanderer slowly floats down, and the smoke begins to subside, revealing Izuku was now slowly getting up, now injured and struggling to get up. Is that all you can do? You defeated Ganyu and Jin and Dihaya, but even so, you are still too weak to fight us. Chilled said. Are you done? Wanderer asked, but Izuku continues to get up, without any mercy. Shao uses his polearm and hits him in the face, launching away. Midoriya, do you forfeit? Midnight asked. Izuku doesn't reply, but he manages to get up, but he is barely standing. Wow, you don't know when to give up. I commend you for that, but you're an idiot, Xiao said. Just give up, Sino said. Jin, Dihaya and Ganyu are just weak. You can never defeat people like us, don't you get it? You're pathetic. Wanderer said. Izuku simply stayed quiet, but those words, "You're pathetic," reminds him, just give up, you will never be a hero. Of all the bullying and discrimination he had faced. You're an idiot, you're quirkless, you're just a Deku, you're useless, honestly, I don't know why I have such a pathetic brother. And this, take a swan dive off the roof and hope you get a quirk in your next life. Fueled, just die, it will make this world a better place. His rage, suddenly, the sky turns gray, as lightning strikes around. What's going on? Kiana asked. The sky suddenly changed and turned gray, and thunder is striking, but there's no rain. Mei said. Then the ground begins to shake, as small debris begin to float. They noticed that Izuku's was clenching his fist, and his hair began to float up, but suddenly, he begins to power up, as instead of the usual white ki, it was golden. But suddenly, Izuku's hair turns a bright gold, the golden aura surrounds him, and Izuku looks at them with a serious look. What is this? Midoriya's hair turned golden. He had a trump card the entire time. Suddenly, Izuku tail unwraps, which had also turned golden. Kick their Midoriya. Kaminari yelled. I see that you are not finished. Wanderer said, but in the blink of an eye, Izuku kicks Wanderer, launching him off the ring and crashing into the wall. Despite being shocked, Midnight quickly snaps out of it. Wanderer is out. Sino turns around, but is met with a powerful spinning backfist that launches him into the wall again. Sino is out. Without wasting time, Shield and Xiao attempt to attack him, but to their shock, Izuku catches both of their weapons with ease. Before anything, Izuku destroys both of their weapons by crushing them, but then he follows up with a powerful ki blast, point blank, which launches Shield and Xiao out of the ring. Everyone stayed silent for a moment, but eventually, Xiao and Shield are now out of the ring. Which means Izuku Midoriya is the winner, which means the hero department has won. Midnight announced. And with that, everybody cheered and roared, as they were amazed by Izuku's power. You did it, Midoriya, Kaminari said. He actually defeated the four of them at the same time, that's incredible. Uraraka said. All Might looked at him in shock, as he was surprised by the display in power, especially the fact that he knew that this wasn't one for all. Young Midoriya, what is this power that you have been hiding? All Might thought. However, Izuku just stood on the arena, looking at his hand. What is this power? Izuku mutters to himself, but he suddenly powers down, his hair back to normal. It doesn't matter, whatever this power is. I'll use it to become stronger, and I'll become a hero that everybody can rely on. It was the next day after the Union Academy Sports Festival, and it was indeed a show for the crowd. But it was nothing compared to the display of the mysterious power of Izuku Midoriya, and that he was able to make a comeback and he defeated the strongest fighters in the Vision class. And now, he had turned from being completely ignored and loner, to the most popular student in the hero department. However, Izuku hated all the attention, and he kept hiding from them. But anyways, we now see ourselves with Izuku having a one-on-one talk with All Might. Young Midoriya, you told me you don't have a quirk, but what was that? Recovery Girl had told me what happened with you. All Might said. I really don't have a quirk, and I still don't, it's just, this monkey tail. I don't know what this is. Izuku said. Then the energy blasts, the teleportation, the ability to fly, what is all of this? All Might asked. On the day I discovered my monkey tail and I had it checked, I had this weird memory and the word ki came to my mind, and I discovered it is the life force that everyone has, and I managed to train this ki and now I'm able to do all these abilities. Izuku said. Ki, a life force, does this mean that most living beings have that? All Might asked. Yeah, but you don't have much, but you can train to use it, Izuku said. That will not be necessary. All Might said. All right. Anyway, that's exactly what it is, it's not a quirk, Izuku said. Then what about that form of yours when your hair turned golden? All Might asked. That, I don't know, Izuku said. Could it be related to Ki? All Might asked. I don't know, Izuku said. I'm sure you will find the answer soon. Anyway, I would like to ask about your progress of One for All Might said. Oh, well, I can use 5% without hurting myself. I was able to spread One for All around my body so I wouldn't hurt myself if I just use One for All with my arm or finger. I call it full cowl, Izuku said. That's good. Now, speaking of which, the internships are coming up. I would like you to train under my former teacher, Gran Torino. He can help you train One for All Might said. Actually, All Might, I was wondering if it is allowed that I would train alone instead of go under an internship. Izuku said. All Might was confused by this request. What? Why is that? All Might asked. Well, that transformation of mine. I am sure I triggered it because of rage, and I was filled with so much rage that if I didn't control myself, I would have done something that I would regret, Izuku said, looking at his hands. I also felt my strength increase a lot. I need to get stronger with this power, so I have to train my ki, and I don't know anyone who can use this power. I want to train on my own. Please All Might, I need to do this, Izuku said, seeing his student's determination, he lets out a sigh. Will you train One for All as well? All Might asked. Yeah, I will, Izuku said with a nod. Very well. Let me have a word with Nezu and Aizawa, All Might said. Thank you, Izuku said. Time skip. We now see ourselves with the students of 1A, and we see Aizawa now showing the names of students that have been chosen by pro heroes for the internship, but to everyone's surprise, Izuku showed 0 heroes. Why did no pro hero choose Midori? Were they blind to not see how amazing he did? Mina asked. Damn nerd, even with all that power you're still useless, Katsumi said. You'd be wrong, because he would have the most out of any of you, but at his request, he chooses not to go on an internship, but instead train on his own, Aizawa said. Why? Momo asked. I don't know, but I also don't really care, it's his choice anyway, Aizawa said. Thanks, Aizawa-sensei, Izuku said. No problem, but are you planning to train here in UA? Aizawa asked. Probably not, Izuku said. Alright, whatever is your choice, Aizawa said. Time skip. Izuku can be seen arriving at his house with Izumi, and the girl immediately goes to her room. Oh, Izuku, a letter came for you, Inko said, passing it to him. Izuku takes the letter and begins to read the contents. Come to the outskirts of Hosu City tomorrow, we are expecting you, Izuku Midoriya. Strange, Izuku said. What is it, Izuku? Inko asked. It says someone wants to meet me at Hosu City tomorrow, Izuku said. I see. Izumi will be going to Hosu tomorrow for her internship, so you can come with her, Inko said. All right, Izuku said with a sigh. Also, what was that power in the sports festival, Izuku? Inko asked. I don't really know. I just woke up with a monkey tail, and now I was able to do all that stuff you saw in the sports festival, Izuku said. Why didn't you tell me? Inko asked. Oh, no particular reason, but you know now. Anyway, I'll head to my room now, Izuku said. Time skip. We now see Izuku walking towards the outskirts of the city with the letter at hand. But eventually, he notices 2 people standing on a fields. Ah, there he is, my lord. Arg, finally. Are you 2 the ones who sent me this letter? Izuku asked. That is correct. My name is Whis, and this is Beerus, the god of destruction. Wait, god of destruction? Izuku asked. That is correct. Anyway, I'm surprised to see that Saiyans are still alive today. Beerus said. Saiyans? Izuku asked. Your race? Do you not even know what that is? Beerus asked. And no, I don't, Izuku said. Seriously. Anyways, Whis, explain to him, Beerus said. Very well. Saiyans are a race of aggressive warriors. They strive to become the strongest in the universe. They also have a unique feature of a monkey tail. You know how to use ki and even transformed into a Super Saiyan, and yet you don't know these things. Then again, you are the only Saiyan left in this planet, Whis said. Super Saiyan? You mean that transformation where my hair turned golden? Izuku asked. Yes, that is correct, Whis said. You know, sensing it, there is no one that could give me a good fight. Suppose I shall destroy this planet, Beerus said. What? Izuku yelled. I suppose I can start with you, then I'll destroy this planet, Beerus said. No, I won't let you allow that, Izuku said. He activates Super Saiyan and also Full Cowl at the same time. He then rushes at Beerus ready to attack. He attempts to punch Beerus, but to his shock, Beerus blocks his punch with a single finger. Izuku was shocked that his attack was blocked so easily. Izuku then teleports behind and attempts to punch him from above, but Beerus blocks his attack without looking. Izuku quickly teleports and appears in front of Beerus, and attempts to kick him, but Beerus just flicks his leg, which makes him lose balance. Izuku quickly recovers. He then jumps back into the air and shoots a barrage of ki blasts at him. Eventually, he stops and a smoke of cloud appears around Beerus and Whis. Izuku catches his breath, tired from shooting so many ki blasts at the same time. How disappointing. Izuku was shocked because they realized that Beerus was behind him. Before anything, Beerus does a karate chop on Izuku's shoulder, which launches Izuku to the ground, instantly defeating him. On the ground, Izuku can be seen heavily injured. He was no longer Super Saiyan and he didn't have one for all on. I can't move, Izuku said. That was disappointing. It seems that is all you can do, Beerus said. Lord Beerus, please do and not destroy the earth, Izuku said, trying to get up. I must say, you have plenty of potential. I have an idea. Why not I train him, Lord Beerus? And maybe he can provide you a good fight, Whis said. He is the last of the Saiyans, and there is no one that could give a good fight in this world, but this kid is unable to give me a good fight. He cannot become a Super Saiyan God, Beerus said. That is not necessary, is it? He can still be stronger, maybe even defeat you, Whis said. HMPH. Alright, fine. Listen here, kid, you will train under Whis, and there will be a day that you and I will fight again, but I will be much more serious than before, so I will spare this planet for now, Beerus said. Gee, why you? I will get stronger, Izuku said before he lost consciousness. You sense it, right, Whis? Beerus asked. Yes, my lord. The souls of Goku, Vegeta, Gohan, and Broly in him, Whis said. This kid does have plenty of potential, hee. I can't wait to see just how powerful this kid will become. He has plenty of potential to be stronger than them, Beerus said. About an hour later, after Izuku had lost consciousness, he got back up and Whis healed him, but they didn't waste time and begin training right away. So, Midoriya, all I want you to do is attack me, Whis said. Attack you? Izuku asked. Yes, I would like to assess just how well you do. I could not assess much since Lord Beerus defeated you quickly, Whis said. Well, he's a god of destruction, so I can't beat him, Izuku said. Well, I do not mean to brag, but not only am I Lord Beerus's attendant, but I am also his teacher, Whis said. Wait, what? So you're stronger than Lord Beerus? Izuku asked. Yes, Whis is stronger than me, so do not underestimate him. He is an angel, a being much more powerful than me, Beerus said. You, relax, Midoriya. There is no need to be so nervous. This is only training. Don't see this as a real fight, Whis said. All right, I'll do my best, Izuku said, activating One for All and Super Saiyan. Very well then, let us begin, Whis said. Izuku then rushes in to begin the training. Time skip. Izuku now sees just how weak he truly was. Izuku had done multiple attacks. He had tried everything to hit Whis, but each time, Whis dodges the attack with ease, or he blocked his attacks with a single finger, and he attempted to use ki blasts, only for Whis to deflect them as well. Now, Izuku was on the ground, trying to catch his breath, as he was exhausted after all the attacks he had done. It was all useless because he didn't land a single attack. Tired already? Whis asked. Yeah, Izuku said. Don't worry, you didn't do bad, Let's take a break, Whis said. Alright, Izuku said. Why not stay at Super Saiyan so you can get used to the form? Whis asked. Well, I guess I can try, Izuku said. He powers down but remains Super Saiyan, so his aura of ki was longer surrounding him. Lord Beerus, am I really the last Saiyan in this planet? Izuku asked. Actually, it's the entire universe. You are the last Saiyan in the universe, this universe, I believe, Beerus said. Wait, what? Izuku asked. Let me explain. There are 12 universes that exist, this is the 7th universe, Whis said. Wait, so there's more than one universe. Wait, Lord Beerus, you're a god of destruction, right? Are you a god of destruction for this universe? Izuku asked. Correct. I am the god of destruction of this universe. There are 11 other gods of destruction and angels, but don't worry about that, I'm sure you got enough rest, didn't you? Beerus asked. Why yeah. Okay, Izuku said. Let us continue, but now I want you to practice with these on, Whis said. He waves his staff and suddenly, 2-ton weights appear on his arms and legs, which makes Izuku almost fall. So heavy, Izuku said. He powers up which doesn't help him much. Those are 2-ton weights each, so I want you to train your punches, kicks and movement with those on, and I want you to practice in the air, so you can practice to also get used to flying, so begin, Whis said. Oh okay. Izuku said as he begins to fly to the air. He has some difficulty in doing it, but eventually he goes high into the air. He begins to throw punches and kicks to the air, which he found difficulty in because of how heavy the weights were. Alright, here goes, Izuku said, determined and continues to train. Time skip. After around an hour of training non-stop, Izuku finally exhausted himself and slowly flew down. Excellent. Take a break, Whis said. Whis waves his staff and the weights disappear, and Izuku was surprised to see his body felt quite light. Whoa, Izuku said. 2 tons is just the beginning, Midoriya, as you get used to the weight, I will increase how heavy it is, Whis said. Okay, Izuku said. Then Izuku senses someone's ki nearby. I sense someone nearby, Izuku said. Go have a look, Whis said. Izuku nods and walks towards the location of where he felt the ki. Eventually, he finds a large robot standing there. What the? A big robot, Izuku said. He then noticed a little girl that seemed to have an injured leg. Now he found the source of the ki. The robot then notices Izuku. Threat detected, the robot said. The girl looks at the guy. Wait, I mean no harm, Izuku said. Mr. Schwarog, please don't attack. Schwarog, wait, you look hurt, let me help you, Izuku said. Schwarog gets ready to attack Izuku, but the little girl stops him. Mr. Schwarog, wait, The little girl attempted to get up, but she stumbles forward, but Izuku suddenly appears next to the little girl and catches her. Are you okay? Izuku asked. I hurt my foot. Izuku helps her sit down and looks to see her right foot was sprained. Okay, I'll see what I can do. What's your name? Izuku asked. I'm Clara, and the robot is Mr. Schwarog. Okay Clara, let me see. Izuku said. He takes a look at her foot and see that it was swollen. What happened? Izuku asked. I was looking for a robot that I repaired and it ran away, but while looking for it, I tripped on something and I sprained my foot. Clara said. I see, Izuku said. Then he remembers in the book. He can also be used for healing. Okay Clara, let me try something. Izuku said. He touches the area that was swollen, which makes Clara flinch from the pain. He then uses ki and begins to apply ki on the swollen area, which makes his hand glow. IDK how to describe it. And in a few seconds, Izuku stops. He then moves back a little and it can be seen that the sprain was gone. Clara moves her foot and she feels that the pain was gone. Oh, it's gone, Clara said. She stands up and was now standing. Thank you, big brother. Clara said. Be big brother, Izuku asked. Oh, well, I don't know your name. Clara said. Oh, right, sorry, I'm Izuku Midoriya, Izuku said. Okay, thank you big brother Izuku. Clara said. That changed nothing, Izuku thought. Thank you. If you are a friend of Clara, then you are my friend as well, Schwarog said. Oh, that's reassuring, Izuku said. I'm sorry, Mr. Schwarog doesn't really trust anybody. Clara said. It's okay. Anyway, you said you were looking for a robot you repaired. Do you want me to help you? Izuku asked. Really? Thank you, Clara said. Izuku nods. Alright, lead the way, Izuku said. Mr. Schwarog, Clara said. Okay, let's go, Schwarog said. Time skip. It took a while, but eventually, the group was able to find the robot, and Izuku was surprised at what the robot was. What the? Izuku said. He was surprised that the robot looked like it was ready to kill. It's Direwolf. I repaired it but it suddenly ran away, Clara said. The robot then looked at the group, but suddenly, it activated its chainsaw arm, ready to attack them. Clara, get behind me, Izuku and Schwarog said at the same time, which surprised the both of them. After you, Izuku asked. Schwarog doesn't say anything but Schwarog then shoots a energy beam at the robot which stuns it. Izuku then powers up, the golden aura surrounding him. Izuku suddenly teleports and appears in front of the robot, and lands a powerful kick to the side of its head, which heavily stuns the robot. Schwarog takes the opportunity and rushes in and punches the robot to the ground. Clara walks towards the robot to look at it and see it was heavily damaged. I guess it's done for, Izuku said. He powers down, but remains Super Saiyan. But suddenly, the robot attempts to swing its arm again. Izuku holds Clara to protect her. He then focuses ki on its left hand, and thanks to that, he was able to catch its chainsaw arm. That was close, Izuku thought. Schwarog then punches the robot on the head and crushes it. Mr. Schwarog, I said we shouldn't destroy the robot, Clara said. There was no choice. If not for Midoriya, you would have been hurt, Schwarog said. Oh, well okay. Thank you big brother, for saving me, Clara said. Izuku lets go of her and drops the robot's arm to the floor. What will you do with it? Izuku asked. We will take it back and I'll try to fix it again, Clara said. Alright, do you need help? Izuku asked. It's okay. Mr. Schwarog will take the robot back, thank you again, big brother. Can we exchange numbers so we can chat? Clara asked. Oh, sure, Izuku said. Thank you, Clara said. And with that, Izuku made a new friend, or little sister. Izuku now parts ways with Clara and Schwarog, and he makes it back to Whis and Beerus. Oh, welcome back, where have you been? Whis asked. I was helping a little girl. Sorry, I'll continue training again, Izuku said. Very well, let us begin right away, Whis said. And with that, Izuku continued training until the day was over. A few days had passed since Midoriya had began his training, and he had made a lot of progress in just a few days. Now, Midoriya can be seen throwing punches and kicks to the air wearing 5-ton weights, and in his Super Saiyan form. And while he does so, Beerus and Whis can be seen on the sideline, observing Midoriya as he trains. He got used to the 2-ton weights quite quickly, my lord, and it seems is already getting used to 5-ton weights. At this rate he may already be training with 10-ton weights, Whis said. He has a lot of potential, but I wasn't expecting that he would improve this much in a few days, Beerus said. He rests his head on his hand. But still, he has a long way to go before he could possibly provide a good fight, but I suppose I won't be destroying the Earth anytime soon, Beerus said. Oh, so you are keeping your promise from Goku? Whis asked. It's only fair. Goku and Vegeta did put up a good fight and managed to defeat me, so I suppose it's only fair I keep my word. Besides, this kid is showing much promise. Suppose it's natural since he's a Saiyan, Beerus said. Whis simply smiles and he walks forward. Midoriya, that is enough, Whis said. Izuku stops and slowly floats to the ground. And as he reaches the ground, Whis waves his staff and the weights disappear from his limbs. Thanks, they were getting a little sore, Izuku said. You are doing well, why not have a quick go against Lord Beerus again? Whis asked. And no, I'm not ready to fight against Lord Beerus, not even close, Izuku said. Beerus chuckles. Guess it wouldn't hurt to see just how much you have improved. Beerus then stands up. Alright, try again, Beerus said, his hands behind him. Oh okay, Izuku said nervously. He powers up again, the golden ki aura surrounding him, Izuku then charges in and rush at Beerus. Izuku attempts a punch at Beerus, who blocks the attack with not a single finger this time, but with his hand. Beerus follows up with a punch, which Izuku attempts to block, but the punch was too strong as he is then launched to a tree and crashes through it and crashes into another one. Izuku grunts in pain, as the punch was enough to make him power out of Super Saiyan and return to his base form. Izuku grunts in pain, as he slowly gets up. "You didn't get knocked out, that's good," Whis said. "But it hurts so much." Izuku groaned. "Better than getting knocked out, right?" Whis asked. "Yeah, I guess so," Izuku said, walking back to the two. "Go ahead and get some rest, that will be enough training for today," Whis said. "Thanks Whis," Izuku said, sitting down. Izuku paused. "It's been a few days since I've been trained under Whis and Lord Beerus. I've gotten a lot stronger than I ever thought I would, and I think my body is getting strong enough for me to use more of One for All. Arg, my head, this is the same as Final Flash. Another dream, memory or something, so this seems to be another key technique, just like the Kamehameha one. I want to try it, but considering that we're near the city, I can't do that, huh?" End of POV. Izuku notices that there was fire coming out of Hosu City. "What the?" Izuku stands up. "It seems something is happening at the city," Whis said. "I'll go check it out," Izuku said, standing up. "Hold on," Whis said. Izuku stops and turns around. Whis then waves his staff and then he points at Izuku. Suddenly, his body begins to glow. After a little bit, the light dies down, revealing his outfit had changed to his hero outfit. "Huh, how did you?" "You don't have to worry about that," Whis said. "How did you even know I have this?" Izuku asked. "I noticed it the other day, anyways, off you go," Whis said. "Oh, right," Izuku said. He turns around and he flies to the air, flying towards Hosu City. A little later, Izuku arrives and he sees a bunch of buildings on fire. He also noticed many Honkai beasts and even Antimatter Legion monsters attacking. "What's with all the monsters around?" Izuku asked. He suddenly senses a familiar key. "This key, it's Iida, Todoroki and Izumi." Izuku mutters. He flies towards them. A little later again, Izuku finds them in an alleyway. He walks inside it and he sees just who he was looking for, except they were on the ground. "Izuku," Todoroki asked, surprised. "What are you doing here?" Izumi asked. "I senses you guys, but what happened to you?" Izuku asked. "So, another fake hero." Izuku looks up and sees Hero Killer Stain standing there. "Hero Killer Stain," Izuku said. "Izuku, don't let him drink your blood or he's going to paralyze you," Todoroki said. "I see," Izuku said. "So you save these fakes?" Stain asked. "Yeah, wait, why are you even doing this?" "The Honkai beasts and the Antimatter Legion is attacking the city. As far as I know, they aren't your allies too," Izuku said. "Obviously I know that, and I know for a fact that I can't do anything against them, but as you said, I'm a hero killer. I kill fake heroes. Only All Might is a true hero," Stain said. "I see, but I won't let you harm them," Izuku said, getting ready to fight. "Very well then," Stain said. He holds his katana and rushes to Izuku. "Izuku!" Iida yelled. Stain attempts to cut him, but he teleports and dodges the attack. "Huh!" Izuku suddenly appears behind Stain. The hero killer turns around, but suddenly, he is met with a powerful punch that launches him to the wall, burying him in and instantly knocking him out. The three other UA students were shocked that the villain they struggled to defeat was easily defeated by Izuku with a single punch. Izuku was surprised by the display of his own strength. He looked at his hand, shocked. "I didn't even use One for All. Whis training really paid off," Izuku thought. "He defeated Stain with a single punch," Iida said, amazed and shocked, as he, Izumi and Todoroki begin to stand up, the paralyze effect wearing off. "Can you guys fight the Antimatter Legion or Honkai beasts?" Izuku asked. "Are you an idiot? We have 0 to no chance against them?" Izumi asked. "I have to agree with her. We're not as strong as the Valkyries," Todoroki said. "Okay, I'll see what I can do," Izuku said as he quickly flies out of the alleyway and flies to the sky. A little bit later, Izuku was flying around, and eventually he notices 3 girls from the Valkyrie department. Kiana, Kaslana, Raiden, Mei, and Bronya Zacic. They were standing on top of a building, but they seemed tired. "I'm so tired. There's so many Honkai beasts," Kiana said, panting, her body covered in scratches and dirt. Suddenly, a Honkai beast appears near them. Huh? The 3 girls look at the Honkai beast, but they felt tired to fight, but they got ready to fight it. The Honkai beast charges at them, but right before it could reach them, Izuku charges in and kicks the Honkai beast away, instantly killing it. Izuku lands on the building. He turns and notices the 3 Valkyries looking at him surprised. "Are you 3 all right?" Izuku asked. "Why yeah, we're fine. Just injured, and tired," Kiana said. Izuku aims both of his hands at the girls and his hands begin to glow. "Hey, what are you doing?" Mei asked, but before anything, a ki blast fires and it hits the 3 girls, but instead of harming them, it instead healed them and replenished their energy. "Hey, you healed us?" Kiana asked. "Yeah. Sorry that it looked like I tried to kill you," Izuku said. "You are Subject Izuku, the one who won in the Union Academy Sports Festival," Bronya said. "Oh. Yeah," Izuku said. He looks up and sees multiple Honkai beasts coming towards them. "No good. They just keep coming," Mei said. "What about the Antimatter Legion?" Izuku asked. "They're mostly taken care of," Kiana said. "Okay. I think know a way to get rid of all the Honkai beasts," Izuku said. "You do? How?" Kiana asked. "I need you to lure them to me, then I can deal with the rest," Izuku said. Are you sure?" Mei asked. "Not really, but I think it can work," Izuku said. "Okay." Bronya said. "All right, we'll get going," Kiana said. The 3 Valkyries then leave. Izuku then flies to the air and charges his ki. He then transforms into Super Saiyan and powers up. "Izuku!" Kiana yells. Izuku looks to see many Honkai beasts chasing after the 3, along with other Valkyries that helped them. "Thank you, now move out of the way," Izuku yelled. He extends his arms out to the side, as he slowly puts his hands together, forming ki on his hands. "Midoriya, what are you doing?" Iida asked, as it turns out that they were watching nearby, but Izuku didn't turn and just continued what he was doing. The other Valkyries move to the side and land on a building, and finally. "Are you brave enough to take on this one? Final Flash?" Izuku yelled, releasing a powerful energy beam that hits all of the Honkai beasts that were flying towards him, instantly killing every single one in the way, and it even caused a powerful wind force that launched them back due to how powerful the attack was. Eventually, the attack died down, and no Honkai beast was in sight. "He did it," Mei said. "That was incredible," Iida said. "Izumi, you still bully your brother, when he is able to do that?" Todoroki asked. "I didn't know he was this strong," Izumi said. Izuku can be seen breathing heavily, as he suddenly powers down, as he blacks out, due to using a lot of ki. Despite the destruction that had already happened around Hosu City, it would have been worse if Izuku did not enter to help. Needless to say, his attack would become something popular. The next day, after the events that had happened, Izuku can be seen slowly waking up from being unconscious. He slowly opens his eyes and are met with another pair of eyes, looking at him. It was Natasha. "Oh, you're awake, that's good," Natasha said. Huh? Izuku slowly sits up. "Big brother." Izuku turns to his right and sees Clara on his right side, holding his hand. "Clara. Wait. Where am I?" Izuku asked. "You're in my clinic. You were unconscious from going a little too far with that energy beam attack of yours," Natasha said. "I see," Izuku said. "Are you okay?" Clara asked. "Yeah, I'm all right. How long was I out?" Izuku asked. "Approximately 10 hours," Natasha said. "For that long, What about my classmates?" Izuku asked. On cue, Mei suddenly enters the room with Kiana and Bronya following after. "Oh, you're awake," Mei said. "Good morning," Kiana said. "Hello," Bronya said. "Hello you 3, Izuku said. "That attack of yours was amazing. You wiped out all the Honkai beasts with that energy beam attack of yours," Kiana said. "Yeah, but it took almost all my energy," Izuku said. Yes, you lost consciousness. And surprisingly, you were saved by Hero Killer. Stain, Mei said. Izuku looks at her, surprised. Stain? Izuku asked, surprised that the villain saved him. Yeah, here's what happened, Kiana said. Flashback, yesterday. Izuku is falling from the sky as he lost consciousness from using too much ki. Seeing that he was falling, Mei attempts to fly to him and catch him, but before she could even do so, Stain suddenly appears and catches Izuku. Stain? Iida yells. He Todoroki, Izumi and the other 3 Valkyries and multiple pro-heroes run towards Stain, who placed Izuku on the ground, holding his katana. So, more fake heroes have arrived? Stain asked. How are you even awake? Izuku punched the living sh*t out of you, Izumi said. Stain, don't you dare harm him, Todoroki said. Stain ignores them and looks at the pro-heroes. I will cleanse this society of all fake heroes. All Might is the only true hero of this world. And this one, Stain points at Izuku with his katana, is better than you fakes. Stain yelled. The heroes get ready to attack Stain, but Stain stops at his spot, as he suddenly lost consciousness, standing up. What happened? Kiana asked. Don't know, but we will take care of it, a pro-hero said, as they go to take Stain to Tartarus. Let's take Midoriya to a hospital, Iida said. Yeah. Where's the closest one? Todoroki asked. There's not one too far, follow Branya said, and so, they take Izuku to Natasha's clinic. End of flashback, and after that, I let you rest here. Clara heard of what happened and wanted to visit you, Natasha said. I see. So that's what happened. Thanks a lot, Izuku said, looking at the Valkyries. No problem, Kiana said. Are you hungry? I brought you some food, Mei said. Really hungry, actually, Izuku said. Mei gives him the plastic that has food in it, but Izuku noticed the amount, but decided to ignore it and take the food. Thanks, Izuku said. You're welcome, Mei said on cue. Iida and Todoroki enter. Midoriya. Iida yelled. Oh, hey Iida, Izuku said. Hey Midoriya, we just wanted to check on you, Todoroki said. Where's Izumi? Izuku asked. She's outside with Svarog, Todoroki said. Midoriya. We just wanted to tell you that some things had happened while you were out, Iida said. Does it have anything to do with the fact Stain saved me? Izuku asked. Well, no. We already know that the 3 Valkyries would have told you. But we just wanted to tell you that while you were knocked out, the pro-heroes scolded us for using our quirks without a license. They told us that they will take the credit of defeating Stain, Iida said. That's it. I really don't care about that, Iida, Izuku said. Well, I was about to get to the point. But, they are giving you the credit of defeating all of the Honkai beasts, Iida said. Oh, couldn't the Valkyries take the credit instead? Izuku asked. They would have. But the fact you killed all of the Honkai beasts with your energy beam attack reached the public, and they were amazed by your ability, Iida said. And when it was announced, the public sort of went against the heroes and Valkyries, demanding that you would take the credit and such, Todoroki said. Oh, so yeah. Let's just say you're quite popular now, and actually, there is a lot of people outside wanting to meet you, Todoroki said, pointing at the door. Outside. Get the F***ck out of here, Izumi yelled, pushing the people away. Hey, what's with this robot? Go away, Svarog said. Back inside. I'm not dealing with this right now, Izuku said, but as he closes his eyes, he sees another technique. It wasn't an offensive technique. I know how to get out, Izuku said. Really? How? Kiana asked. Just follow me, but cover your eyes, Izuku said. Huh? Izuku gets off the bed. Thanks again, Natasha, Izuku said. You're welcome. Natasha said. I'll visit you another time, Clara, Izuku said. Okay big brother, Clara said. Izuku, Iida, Todoroki and the 3 Valkyries then walk out of the clinic, met with the people. Finally, you took forever, Izumi yelled. Cover your eyes, Izuku yelled. Everyone then covers their eyes. Izumi was confused but decided to cover her eyes. Even Svarog decided to do it. And suddenly, solar flare, Izuku yelled, releasing a very bright light that temporarily blinds the people. Okay, let's go, Izuku said. Running past them, the others stop covering their eyes and run past the crowd. See you Svarog, Izuku said, as the others follow behind them. Midoriya, what did you do? Iida asked. I temporarily blinded them, it's enough to escape the people, Izuku said. Time skip. The group finds themselves far from the people, they pause and catch their breath. Great. We got away. Kiana said. I hate the attention, Izuku said. Midoriya, the internship is finished today. It's time we head back to UA, Iida said. Can we come with you? Mei asked. Sure, Todoroki said. You guys go ahead to the train station, I have somewhere to go, Izuku said, as he activates his ki and flies away. Time skip. Izuku reaches the outskirts of Hosu City and reaches the forest. Eventually, he finds Whis and Beerus, waiting for them and eating a lot of food. Ah, Midoriya, welcome back, Whis said. Took you long enough, Beerus said. I am really sorry. I just woke up not too long ago, Izuku said. It's all right. We saw what happened, and I will say, your attack was quite impressive, Whis said. Oh, thanks. Izuku said. Why are you just standing there? Dig in, but don't touch mine, Beerus said. Oh, thank you so much, Izuku said, as he sits down and begins to eat at a fast rate, and in large amounts too. A little later. Thanks for the food, Izuku said, feeling satisfied. So, you will be returning to UA? Whis asked. Oh, yeah, I will. So, is this the end of our training? Izuku asked. Oh, of course not, we will continue training, Whis said. Oh, that's great, Izuku said. Yeah, now hurry, or you will miss the train, Whis said. Huh, oh right. Thank you again, Izuku said, quickly flying away. It was the end of internships, and time to return to Union Academy. Sue, how was your internship? Yoimiya asked Izuku, who was relaxing on the grass of Union Academy. Izuku had his free time and he so happened to bump into Yoimiya, and now they were just relaxing. How do you even know that? Izuku asked. Heard, Yoimiya said. Oh, I see. Well, I didn't have that, I just had my own training, Izuku said. Oh, I see, Yoimiya said. Izuku then senses someone's ki approaching him. He also senses that this person's ki was on their way to attack him, so Izuku dodges the attack by teleporting out of his spot, which makes the person who tried to attack him miss and punch the ground. Hey! Yoimiya said, who jumped back a little. Izuku appears behind the person quickly turns around and attempts to punch him again, but instead, he blocked the attack with ease. You got a little slow, Dihaya, Izuku said. I ain't slow, Dihaya said. She attempts her flurry of attacks again, which Izuku just blocks. To Yoimiya, Dihaya was attacking him quite fast, but to Izuku, she was very slow. Dihaya is definitely as fast as before, in fact, actually, I think she's faster than before, but she's so slow to me. So this is the result of my training, Izuku thought. Dihaya then tries again to punch him. Buddha catches the punch with ease, and this finally made Dihaya stop her attacks. Dihaya clicks her tongue out of frustration and takes a few steps back. I know for sure that I'm not sloppy, I train every day. Damn, how'd you get so strong? I'm sure it hasn't been that long when we last fought, Dihaya said. Just went through some special training, Izuku said. That was it? I thought you two were friends now? And the first thing is you try to hit him? Yoimiya asked. Well, sort of, Dihaya said. Dihaya, I leave you for 1 second and you go and try to fight with someone. The group turns to see Candace, one of Dihaya's classmates and close friends. Ah, sorry about that, I couldn't help it, Dihaya said. Never mind. Anyways, who did you try to attack? Candace asked. That would be me. But it's fine, she didn't do much, Izuku said. Are you mocking me? Dihaya asked, looking at him. Huh? No I'm not, Izuku said. Oh, alright, Dihaya said. Apologies, that's just how Dihaya is like. I'm Candace. Wait, you look familiar, Candace said. He's the one I fought in the Union Academy Sports Festival, Dihaya said. Oh, right, I remember now. If I recall, you're Izuku Midoriya. And now that I think about it, I remember seeing you on the internet for wiping out a multitude of Honkai beasts with a powerful attack, Candace said. Oh right. I was actually gonna mention that before you interrupted us, Yoimiya said. Interrupt you? Oh, then I'm sorry Dihaya ruined your alone time with each other, Candace said. Wait. And no, that's not what I meant. Yoimiya stuttered, a blush on her face. Really? You two looked like a couple before I decided to attack, Dihaya said. Oh, look at the time. I think I should head back. See you another time, Izuku. Yoimiya said, running away while the other three just looked at her. My bad. I won't attack you the next time we meet. Me and Candace will leave now. See you around, Dihaya said, as they both leave. Alright. Final exams are coming up. Better get ready, Izuku said. Time skip. Around a week later. Gosh, the written exams were such a pain. But what do you think is the actual final exam? Mineta asked. Kendo told me that we would face against those robots from the entrance exam, Momo said. Really? I don't think that would be too bad, Kirishima said. Yeah, Uraraka said. Izuku was minding his own business, eating some food, when someone suddenly taps his shoulder. Izuku turns and he sees it was Dihaya. Hey, can I talk to you? Dihaya asked. Huh? Oh, sure, Izuku said. He then leaves the group. Only Iida and Todoroki noticed him leave but they didn't say anything. Scene shift. Izuku and Dihaya walk out of the cafeteria and now they were alone. So, did you need something? Izuku asked. Yeah, I overheard your conversation, and I actually wanted to tell you that I heard something about it, Dihaya said. Oh, sure, Izuku said. So I overheard from my teachers that apparently, the Heroes Department would be facing against the teachers, and it seems some of the teachers from the Vision Department want to test your strength, Dihaya said. Wait, so you're saying that teachers from Hero Department class want to test my strength? Izuku said. Yep, pretty much. I just wanted to tell you ahead so you can train, Dihaya said. Alright. Thanks, Izuku said. No problem, I'll go now. See ya, Dihaya said, walking away. Time to train. Just to be prepared, Izuku said time skip. It was finally time for the Heroes Department final exam, and the class of 1A were ready for the examinations, though, they noticed the pro-heroes around, as well as the teachers from the Visions Department. Sir, where are the robots? Kaminari asked. Oh, that? Well, we decided to ditch that idea because we thought it would be a little simple, so we decided that you will face us, Nezu said. Wait. Does that include them? Mineta asked, pointing at the teacher from the Vision Department. That is correct, Ayato said, but sir, that's unfair, Kirishima asked. As I said, nothing is fair, this is reality, and you will be grouped into two, and you will be outnumbering us, Aizawa said. And we will also be holding back with these weights that weigh a ton and will hold us back and slowing us down, All Might said. So here is how it works, you are divided into two groups, and you will face us at the same time, and your goal is that at least two of you have to reach the exit and escape, or you defeat all of us and capture us with this tape, Diluc said, holding out the tape. Alright, we have already prepared everything, so here you go, Aizawa said. He opens the screen and it reveals the teams. Team A. Kyoka Jiro Honta Siro Toru Hagakuri Minoru Mineta. Yuga Aoyama Mina Ishido Denki Kaminari Koji Koda Mashirao Ojiro. Mezzo Shoji Rikido Sato Team B. Izuku Midoriya Izumi Midoriya. Katsuki Bakugo Katsumi Bakugo Shoto Todoroki Tenya Iida. Tsuyu Asui Tokiyami Fumikage Momo Yayorozu Ejiro Kirishima. Ochako Uraraka and finally, here you go. Team of Villains. Ayato Ectoplasm Ningguang Midnight Present Mike Zhongli. Lisa Ye Miko Team B Villains. All Might Eraserhead. Nezu Beto Diluc Kea Yellen Shenhe. Oh gosh, we're so screwed, Kaminari said. We just have to do our best, Momo said. That's right, Uraraka said. Izuku looked at the teachers with determination, ready to face on a tough challenge. Izuku will show everyone the results of his training. And show that Deku doesn't mean useless, but it meant that he can do it. Izuku sighed, frustrated, as he is walking one now. It was Team B's turn to go again, the pro heroes. Team A finished half an hour ago and they failed badly. Now Team B had their turn, but unfortunately, Izumi took the wheel and lead everyone, leaving Izuku out. But Iida and Todoroki went with him for a while, but they separated when All Might attacked. Midoriya, get to the escape gate, we will stall him, Todoroki yelled, as he chased after Ida, who was punched away by All Might, and All Might went after Ida. I'm not surprised the others would just listen to Izumi. I'll just hurry up so we can end this quickly, Izuku mutters to himself. Meanwhile, with Team A that was watching the match, Izuku is by himself, and the others are getting defeated one by one, Kaminari said. I think he will do all right. Jiro said. I believe Cutie can win by himself, considering the rest of his team followed an idiot. Lisa said. Team A couldn't help but look at her angry, but then Lisa looked at them with a sweet smile. Oh, do you have something to say? Lisa asked, as lighting began to form around her. No, everyone said. Good, Lisa said back with Izuku. Izuku can be seen running, and he was running quite fast too, but as he is running, he stops because he sensed someone's key, and running towards him, he waited for a little bit, letting the person to come closer to him. Eventually, the person was about to reach him, but Izuku suddenly teleports out of the way, which made the person miss. Huh? Yellen gasped surprised, as she came out of her invisibility. Before anything, Izuku appears in front of her and lands a powerful kick that launches her away and knocks her out. Whoops. Looks like I went too far, Izuku said suddenly. A giant boulder flies towards him, but Izuku manages to punch it and breaks it easily. But that was when Izuku realized that he was now actually surrounded by all of the villains, and it was revealed that Shenhe threw the boulder at him. You're surrounded, you should just give up, Deluxe said. You're the only one left. The rest of your team is down and defeated, Beidou said. Izuku activates One for All, but suddenly, it gets cancelled out and he couldn't activate it again. He looks and sees Aizawa activated his quirk. Still wanna fight back, kid? I'll admit, you got the guts, Aizawa said. I'm outnumbered. But even if I am, I can't help but feel a little excited. All right. Let's go, Izuku thought. Ha! Izuku yells, as he instantly transforms into Super Saiyan, the golden aura forming around his body. Without wasting any time, Deluxe quickly rushes in and attempts to hit him with his claymore, but Izuku catches the weapon easily. Beidou rushes in and attempts to do the same, but he catches the other claymore easily. Huh, so it isn't a quirk, Aizawa said, his quirk still active. Recovery Girl did say it wasn't a quirk, All Might said. Kea rushes in from behind Izuku, but before he hits him, Izuku suddenly teleports out of the way, which makes Kea whiff. Izuku suddenly appears in front of Aizawa, which surprises Aizawa, but All Might quickly acts and he goes in to punch Izuku, who blocks the attack with his arm with relative ease, which shocks All Might. He blocked my attack so easily? All Might thought. Izuku quickly kicked his arm upwards and follows up with a roundhouse kick which launches All Might away. He was ready to attack Aizawa, but suddenly, he was launched into a building with a wrecking ball, courtesy of Nezu. Deluxe gets ready to unleash his ultimate attack, but a key blast suddenly comes out of the building and it destroys the wrecking ball machine. But Nezu comes out and slowly comes down with a parachute, so he wah ssafe in sound. I think I will back out on this one, Nezu said. Izuku suddenly comes out of the debris and is barely scratched. Deluxe quickly noticed and unleashes his attack, which is basically his elemental burst, releasing a fire phoenix at him, but he dodges the attack. Izuku suddenly appears behind Deluxe and attempts to attack him, but Shenhe quickly attacks him and hits him at the side, which makes Izuku cough a little bit of blood. She hits harder than All Might. Izuku thought. Shenhe punches him away, but Izuku quickly recovers and lands. Beidou rushes in and begins to swing her claymore around, but he dodges each one. Eventually, Beidou stops. Izuku quickly rushes in to attack her, but she raises her claymore and Izuku punches the claymore instead, but he was met with an electroshock around his body, which stuns him, and Beidou quickly counters with her claymore and lands a powerful attack at his gut which launches him away. I forgot about her counters, Izuku thought, as he is launched into another building, but suddenly, the building begins to collapse and crashes into Izuku. Midoriya Shonen, All Might panicked, realizing that an entire building crashed on top of him. I'll get him out, Shenhe said, but as she walks towards him, Izuku suddenly appears in front of Kea and Deluxe which surprises the both of them. What the? Deluxe said, but was cut off when Izuku grabs both of their faces and slams them to the ground. Izuku kicks Kea away and he leaves Deluxe alone. Beidou rushes in and swings her claymore, which Izuku dodges by teleporting out of the way. Izuku appears behind Beidou and attempts to kick her, but is blocked by one of Shinhei's clones or Mirage, and Shinhei quickly comes in and attempts to hit Izuku with her spear, but he uses the clone to push himself out of the way. He then does a blackflip and jumps away. He then launches a ki beam at Shinhei, who dodges the attack and hits the building behind them, which begins to crash and fall Beidou. "Above you, Beidou," Aizawa yelled. She turns around. Beidou slightly panics from this, but suddenly, Izuku flies by quickly pulls her out of the way, saving her. "What the, damn, you got me out quickly," Beidou said. "Yeah, are you alright?" Izuku asked. "I was able to get out on my own, but thanks for saving me," Beidou said. "Well, not really," Izuku said. "Huh, what do you mean?" Beidou asked, confused. "Thanks for letting your guard down," Izuku said, which surprises Beidou, but it was too late. Izuku lands a powerful headbutt that instantly knocks Beidou out. He then puts her down. He stands up, but he senses All Might rushing towards him. All Might swings his fist and attempts to punch him, but Izuku suddenly ducks underneath the attack and lands a powerful punch on his gut, and he accidentally hits All Might's scar. This made All Might cough out blood, and make him panic. "Crap, I hit his scar," Izuku thought to himself. He quickly pulls his arm away, and now, All Might falls to the ground on one knee. "Looks like you hit him on his scar," Shinhei said. "Huh, wait, won't the others? Your teammates are knocked out and the other team can't hear us, they can only observe us." "Well, you did good," Shinhei said. "We will let it be a pass. Congratulations Midoriya, you carried your entire team," Nezu said. What?" Izuku asked, confused with the last part. "Your team didn't last too long and were knocked out quickly. You can go now. We'll take care of the knocked out students and teachers, as well as All Might's injury. You can head back and get some rest," Nezu said. "Okay sir," Izuku said as he walks through the escape gate, and with that, Team B succeeds, and once again, shocking the entire class and the rest of the teachers. "Wow, you're quite strong now, cutie. I'm proud of you," Lisa thought. "Cutie, I'm so proud of you, you did amazing," Lisa said, holding the face of Izuku and rubbing his cheeks. Thank you, B, but please not in front of everyone," Izuku said, who was embarrassed since everyone was watching him, even his team who had woken up from the battle, as well as the teachers. "At least we won, but we had to let Izuku do all of the work," Iida said. "It was a bad idea to follow Izumi. Kirishima. We were forced to follow her, Katsuki and Katsumi," Uraraka said. "Shut the F*ck up," Katsumi yelled. "Anyway, good job Team B, you all passed. Team A, even if you didn't pass, you did good, you did better at teamwork and you were coordinated," Aizawa said. "Well, at least we did better at that part," Mina said. "And, we decided to make some changes," said Team B. "Izuku is the only one that passed, the rest of the team fails," Nezu said. "What, sir? That is not fair," Izumi yelled. "Fair? That's funny, coming from you of all people. You, Katsuki and Katsumi barely helped the entire time, you definitely don't deserve the credit," Beidou said. "And you were also foolish to follow them," Ningguang said. "Yes, it was indeed a mistake that we made, we should have followed Izuku," Momo said. "Wait, give Iida and Todoroki some grade, they followed me and helped me out," Izuku said. "Yes, they will also receive a grade, but not as much," Dilek said. "Thank you, Izuku," Iida said. "No problem," Izuku said. "You're dismissed," Nezu said, and everyone leaves, to go and get rest, as a tough day was finally over. The next day, so, there is no need to elaborate anything, but a few announcements. In a few days, you will be having a summer training camp, and you will be trained by the pro heroes, Wild Pussycat, Aizawa said. Everyone gets excited with a few not showing it or anything and remains silent. "Quiet," Aizawa yelled, activating his quirk, which silences everyone. "Since most of you failed, you will be having extra training, don't expect to relax too much. As for you, Izuku, Iida and Todoroki, you will have regular training, which will still be difficult, so don't take it lightly." "Izuku, will you go train by yourself again?" Aizawa asked. "Depends, but for now, I won't," Izuku said. "Alright, Go ahead and get prepared. As I said, it starts in a few days. Dismissed, Aizawa said. Scene shift. Guys, let's go shopping together. Mina said. Like I'm going with a bunch of extras. Katsuki yelled. Just bring your ass or I'm going to force you. Katsumi yelled. Just come with us, Katsuki, Izumi said. TCH, whatever, Katsuki said. Izuku, will you come with us? Iida asked. Before he could reply, Izuku gets a call from Clara. He quickly answers it. Hello, Izuku asked. Hi big brother, I really need your help. Clara said. My help, sure, what is it? Izuku asked. A lot of the robots I repaired escaped and are running around again. There's too many for me and Mr. Schrog to go after. Clara said. How many are there? Izuku asked. About 10. Clara said. What? Izuku asked, shocked that so many got loose. Deku-kun, Uraraka asked. Everyone looked at him because he suddenly yelled. Okay. Can I come tomorrow? I need to do some stuff, Izuku said. Okay. See you tomorrow, big brother. Clara said. Clara ends the calls. I need to go, Izuku said. He quickly leaves, which leaves the others surprised. The heck was that for? Izumi asked. Don't know, but I guess he won't be joining us. Mina said. Time skip. Ha. Izuku lands a kick at the side of one of the robots, which launches it to the ground and destroys it. Izuku lands on the ground and powers down. The last machine is now defeated, Schrog said. Thank you so much, big brother. Clara said. You're welcome. None of you are hurt, right? Izuku asked. Nope. What about you, Mr. Schrog? Clara asked, looking at the machine. A few damages, Schrog said. Clara looks around and she sees a bit of damage on the side of the machine. Let's go back home. I'll repair you. Can you carry that machine by yourself, big brother? Clara asked. Yeah, Izuku said, but as they were about to leave, Izuku noticed the sky suddenly changed to slightly red. Huh, what happened to the sky? Clara asked. I don't know, but that doesn't look normal, something's wrong. Izuku said. He flies up to the air, he looks around, but he notices something in the air. Isn't that the Hyperion? Izuku asked himself, but he also noticed multiple explosions happening on it. He also noticed a lot of Honkai beasts around it. Izuku flies down to go next to Clara and Schrog. Something is going on. I need to go, Izuku said. Can we help? Clara asked. Huh, I don't know. I don't think it's safe. Izuku said. Please, let us come with you. Clara said. Even if I could, it would be difficult to carry Schrog there. I need to fly, Izuku said. Let me take care of that. The trio looked around confused, but in the blink of an eye, they appeared on the Hyperion. What the, Whis? Izuku asked in his mind. You can thank me later, Whis said. What? Where are we? Clara asked. The Hyperion, Izuku said. He looks around and noticed a lot of Valkyries were down and knocked out. Clara, stay back, Schrog said, pulling Clara closer to him. That's when Izuku noticed that someone was above him. More humans. Kiana, Izuku asked. Kiana is gone. I am Surin, the Hersher of the Void. What? Izuku asked. Shocked, Surin drops an unconscious Mei and she falls to the ground. Very well. Time to die, Surin said. Clara, Schrog, get back, I'll take it from here, Izuku said. The two go away. Izuku flies to the air. He quickly goes Super Saiyan and gets to his fighting stance while Surin just stays still. Izuku knows that Hershers are powerful, but seeing that all the Valkyries are down, and that there were no other heroes, Valkyries, or anyone from the follower of Ian's department nearby, he had to fight. Why? You think you can defeat me, human? Surin asked. I don't know, but I will stop you, because if I don't, then who will? Izuku yelled as he flies towards Surin, as a fierce battle was about to begin. Izuku grunted as he is launched away by Surin's attack. He stops himself mid-air and he catches his breath. His battle with the Hersher of the Void had been going on for a while, but he struggled to do any damage, and he was starting to feel tired. He had injuries and such. It is futile. Surrender, and I will end your life right away, Surin said. Never, Izuku said. He teleports behind Surin and attempts to do a chop, but Surin uses her powers and creates a small barrier, which blocks Izuku's attack. Surin then uses her power to unleash a shockwave that launches Izuku away. Surin quickly turns around and shoots out a bullet. IDK, anyway, and it hits Izuku, which launches him away. Mr. Schwarog, we need to help Big Brother, or he's going to die. Clara said. Clara, your safety is important, we stayed for too long, we need to leave, now, Schwarog said. No, I can't just leave Big Brother, he's fighting for everyone. I don't want to be a burden. I want to help, Clara said. Clara, Schwarog said. Please, Mr. Schwarog, Clara said in desperation. The robot simply looks at her. He turns around and sees that Izuku was grabbed by the throat and being choked. I commend your effort, human, but it is already clear that you had no chance, Surin said. Izuku tries his best to get out of her hold. He tries and kicks her on the side, but each time, it is blocked by Surin's small barrier. But suddenly, Surin is hit in the back by a beam, which makes her let go of Izuku. He gets this opportunity and he lands a punch that launches her away. Surin quickly recovers. She turns around and sees Schwarog launch the attack. TCH. Surin clicked her tongue. Schwarog then unleashes multiple missiles towards her. Surin makes multiple portals and the missiles go in it. How annoying. Surin said. She snaps her fingers and multiple Honkai beasts appear around Clara and Schwarog, ready to attack. No, Izuku said. He flies towards Clara and Schwarog, but Surin creates a portal which makes Izuku go into it, and when he comes out of the portal, he appears in front of Surin, which surprises him. Surin then uses her spears, or something like that, and it hits Izuku, which explodes on impact and launching him away. Izuku quickly recovers, but was now bleeding. Izuku looks down and he sees Schwarog fighting off the Honkai beasts. He was able to fight against the small and weak ones, but the big ones he struggled to defend. One of the small ones managed to attack and hit Clara, which launches her away. Ow, Clara said, holding her stomach in pain. Clara, Izuku yelled. Surin gets ready to attack, but quickly. Solar flare, Izuku yelled. This move blinds Surin, and it makes her rub her eyes. Izuku quickly flies down and he shoots ki blasts, destroying the Honkai beasts around. Then he goes to Clara by her side. Clara, are you okay? Izuku asked. Why yes, I'm okay. Be Big Brother. Clara said. Schwarog, Izuku asked. He looked at the robot, but he notices that Schwarog was damaged. Some sparks flew out of him and parts around him were damaged. How annoying. Surin yells, as black portals suddenly appear behind her. With that, Surin unleashes a barrage of energy blast attacks. Izuku quickly gets in front and counters with his own barrage of ki blasts, which makes some of them clash, and some hit other parts of the Hyperion. But eventually, one was on its way to hit Clara, but Svarog quickly goes in the way and takes the attack, which causes an explosion and launches Clara away while Izuku covers his face. With that, Surin finally stops her attack, and smoke surrounds the area. Svarog, Izuku yelled. The smoke finally subsides. Clara quickly gets back up, as she sees that the robot that was like her father was now destroyed, and only the upper half of Svarog was left. Mr. Svarog, Clara yells. She runs to Svarog's side, tears in her eyes. Clara, Svarog said with a glitchy voice, as he began to power down, as he was losing power rapidly. Svarog then turns to Izuku. Izuku, take care of Clara. Protect her, and everyone else, Svarog said, as he finally shuts down. Svarog was now destroyed. No. Mr. Svarog, Clara said. Izuku gets up, he turns around and looks down. Finally, that piece of garbage is disposed of. Now, I shall dispose the both of you, and everyone else in this world, Surin said. And suddenly, wah! Izuku's hair becomes more spiky as it raises up, his body covered in lightning. The ground below him gets destroyed, as his face clearly shows that he was angry. He then looks at Surin. You're going to pay for what you've done, Izuku yelled. Be Big Brother? Clara asked, a bit scared of Izuku. Clara, just stay there, Izuku said. He suddenly appears in front of Surin, which surprises the Hersher. Izuku lands a powerful punch that launches Surin into the Hyperion, and it makes the entire ship shake. Surin slowly gets up, but she notices that Izuku was behind her. She turns around but was only met with a powerful kick and launches her away. While Surin was flying away, Izuku appears behind Surin. He then kicks her upwards, launching her high in the air. Izuku then appears next to her and then punches her away. Izuku doesn't waste time and shoots out a powerful Kamehameha. However, Surin quickly recovers and she creates a portal, which the Kamehameha goes in the portal. Another portal appears next to Izuku, and his Kamehameha comes out of it, but he deflects his own attack towards Surin, which catches her off guard and she gets hit by the attack. "Why you?" Surin said. She unleashes multiple of her spear things again, but Izuku dodges each of them easily. He suddenly appears in front of Surin and lands a powerful attack, launching her away. Surin quickly recovers. She then tries to shoot Izuku with her guns, but Izuku quickly shoots both of the guns away. Suddenly he appears above Surin and he lands a spinning roundhouse kick, launching her away. Surin quickly recovers, but Izuku suddenly appears behind her, ready to attack. "It's over," Izuku said. He attempts to punch her, but Surin manages to catch his fist. "Don't underestimate me," Surin said. She unleashes a powerful blast from her hands and then she launches Izuku away. Izuku quickly recovers. While he was flying away, he puts his hands together, and then Masenko. Izuku yells, releasing an energy wave attack which Surin blocks with her arms, but still gets hurt from it. "NGH. What a nuisance," Surin said. She looks down and notices Clara watching the fight. "So you're still there," Surin mutters to herself. She then fires a single spear to Clara, which was sharp instead of the other ones where it would explode. Clara gets surprised by this, but before anything, Izuku appears in front of her and takes the attack, in which the spear impales and stabs him through the gut, and this of course makes him vomit out blood. "Big brother," Clara yelled in panic. "I'm fine," Izuku said. He just pulls out the spear and tosses it to the side, ignoring the pain he feels. Izuku slowly flies up to the air, holding his gut in pain. "I need to end this now," Izuku thought. Surin gets ready to unleash another barrage of energy attacks, the ports appearing behind her, but this time, he was ready. "I'll use all my power in this one attack," Izuku said, putting his hands together. "Ka. Me. Ha. Me. Ha." Izuku unleashes a powerful blue energy wave towards Surin, much more powerful than the other ones he did, and this attack lands and hits Surin. After Izuku finishes with the attack, the area around Surin was covered in smoke, but suddenly, it revealed Kiana came out of the smoke, injured and unconscious as she fell to the ground. With that, Izuku powers down and he falls to the ground, also unconscious. "Big brother," Clara said. The moment Izuku lands on the ground, Clara quickly runs to him. Clara quickly checks on him, and aside the hole on his gut because of one of the attacks, he was still breathing. "Big brother. Thank goodness you're okay. I would be really sad if I lost you too," Clara said. "May. We finally arrived." Clara looks back and she sees Teresa with multiple other Valkyries with her. Teresa notices Clara. "Himeko, go get Kiana and May," Teresa said. She then runs to Clara. "Are you okay? Are you hurt?" Teresa asked. "No, but big brother Izuku is hurt badly," Clara said. Teresa notices Izuku who was unconscious and was still breathing, and injured badly. "I see. Fu Hua, take him to the medical bay immediately," Teresa said. "Understood," Fu Hua said. She then takes Izuku and carries him with relative ease and quickly leaves. "Okay. What happened to him?" Teresa asked. "Big brother Izuku fought Surin. I think that's what her name was," Clara said. "Surin?" Teresa asked, clarifying. "Yes," Clara said. "Izuku Midoriya. He was the one with that monkey tail or something. But the fact that he was able to fight a Hersher and stop Surin. That's impressive," Teresa thought. "Okay Clara, let me take you to safety," Teresa said. Clara simply nods as the principal of Saint Freya High leads Clara out of the Hyperion. Another tough battle was over. My head. What happened? Where am I? Izuku asks himself, waking up in the air. He had no clue where he was. He seemed to be in a planet that wasn't the Earth. And in front of him on the right side, there was some sort of alien, with a tail and has a skin of white and purple, who was heavily injured, taking in deep breaths. And on the left side was a man, who was also injured and his clothes were torn and ripped, but he noticed that he was also a Super Saiyan. What? What are you? Frieza asked. You mean you haven't figured that out yet? Goku asked. I am a Saiyan from Earth who came all this way to defeat you. I am the warrior you've heard in legends. I am pure of heart and awakened by rage. That's what I am. Goku curls his hand into fists. I am the Super Saiyan. Son Goku. Goku yells, powering up and releasing a wind pressure which slightly pushes Frieza back. Wo. Izuku said, amazed. Even if he knew how to become a Super Saiyan, he was amazed by the display of power. Suddenly, he felt someone hold his shoulder. Hi. Izuku jumped a little bit in surprise. He turned around and he noticed it was the same man, except his clothes are fixed and he was in base form. Huh? Wait, aren't you? Izuku turns around, but he stops. Looking back, he sees that he was now in a black void. That was me from the past, and when I first turned Super Saiyan, and when I was still alive, Goku said. That's when you first became a Super Saiyan. And you said when you were still alive. So, you're dead? Izuku asked. For a long time now. I died years ago and I decided not to come back, it's better just to relax in Otherworld, Goku said. Why, you're a Saiyan? Like me? Wait, does that mean I died too? Izuku asked, panicking. No, you're still alive. Just in a coma and knocked. And we're the reason you're a Saiyan, Goku said. The reason I became a Saiyan? Izuku asked. Yep, since me and the rest of my friends and my son decided to stay in Otherworld, we decided to give our power to someone who was worthy of it. We found you and chose it to give it to you, Goku said. Why me? I'm grateful. But why did you give me this power? Izuku asked. We found you worthy of it. You have a pure heart and a strong will, and the heart of a hero. So we just want you to use our power for good, alright? Well, do I have to worry? Lord Beerus is there so he would just stop you if you tried to be a villain or something, Goku said. Where are the rest? You said there were others, Izuku asked. They didn't want to meet you yet, I'm the first one. You'll meet them eventually. Anyway, that's enough for now, it's time for you to wake up, we can talk another time. See ya, Goku said, and suddenly Izuku's vision went black. Heard. You big brother. Izuku hears the voice of his non-biological younger sister aka Clara with worry. Izuku opens his eyes and sees her beside him, holding his arm. See Clara? Izuku asked. Yes, it's me, big brother, Clara said. Izuku lets out a small smile and pats her on the head, which Clara just takes because she didn't mind, but Izuku's smile quickly turns into a frown. Clara. I'm sorry. That Svarog was destroyed. Izuku apologized. It's okay. Big brother. I may have lost Mr. Svarog, but at least I still have you. I'm glad that you're alive, Clara said with teary eyes. Izuku smiles again and wipes the tears off of her eyes. I'll find a way to bring him back, Izuku said. Thank you, Clara said. Izuku then sits up, feeling a bit of sore on his body, but mostly better. How long was I out? Izuku asked. It's been a day. You were out cold, big brother, Clara said. I used a lot of energy. And I was hurt pretty badly, makes sense why I was out for so long. What about Kiana? Or May? Izuku asked. Kiana is back to normal, and May is doing just fine. Izuku and Clara turn their heads and they see the principal of the Valkyrie department, Teresa Apocalypse, standing there. Why, you're Teresa? Izuku said. Yep, and I want to thank you for saving Union Academy, the city. Pretty much the world. I'm actually surprised that you defeated a Hersher by yourself, Teresa said. I just got lucky, I guess. Izuku said. I'm confused. Is Kiana and Surin the same person? Clara asked. Kiana has a Hersher within her named Surin, the Hersher of the Void. She was captured and experimented on, with one of them involving in putting Surin's consciousness inside of Kiana, so they're not the same, but Surin took over Kiana's body. Thanks to Izuku, she is able to take control again, Teresa explained. IDK about the lore anymore, this is just a FIC and I'm going with it. I see. And May is recovered? Izuku asked. Yes, she's okay now. I should be asking you if you're doing okay. Well, are you? Teresa asked. I'm sore at some parts of my body, but mostly okay, Izuku said. That's good then, will you head out now? Teresa asked. Yeah, and I should take you back, Clara, Izuku said. But I'll be alone. Mr. Svarog usually takes care of me, Clara said. What about Natasha? I'll take you to her, maybe she can let you stay with her, Izuku said. Can I stay with you instead? Clara asked shyly. No, I need to continue school, Izuku said. Oh, okay. Clara said, how cute. Anyways, your homeroom teacher wanted to meet you as soon as you woke up, Teresa said. No need, I'm already here, Aizawa said, entering the infirmary. Oh, well, time to go, see you around, Teresa said, leaving. Midoriya. You doing alright? Aizawa asked. Why yeah, I'm fine, Izuku said. That's good. Just wanted to tell you that the summer training camp will be postponed to next week. Apparently most of your injuries have already been healed, but we decided it's best to have things fixed out, as well as for you to have a full recovery, Aizawa said. Well, I'm mostly fine. But I guess it's your choice to move it to next week, Izuku said. Yes. But for now, enjoy your rest, Aizawa said as he leaves. I need to get stronger. I struggled against Surin and I only won because of my power-up. I'm sure eventually that won't happen to me again. I need to train more. Actually, I need to see Lord Beerus and Whis. Ha! Izuku yells as he charges at Whis in Super Saiyan 2 and does a barrage of attacks, in which the angel dodges easily. It's the next day, and Izuku went to visit Beerus and Whis. Izuku requested the angel to heal his wounds to continue training. Whis was reluctant at first, but eventually he complied and did so, and now, Izuku can be seen training with him while Beerus dozes off at the side. Seeing that Izuku couldn't do anything, he jumps away and he teleports behind Whis to attempt to do a roundhouse kick, but Whis simply flicks his leg which causes Izuku to lose balance and fall to the ground, but he quickly recovers and tries to sweep Whis off his feet, but he jumps over it. Seeing this, Izuku tries to punch Whis, but the angel blocks it with a single finger. I think that's just about enough for now, Whis said. Ugh, darn, Izuku said, powering down. The strength of your attacks have improved, as for your speed, it has only improved a little, Whis said. I don't think I'll ever get close to be as strong as you. Izuku said. Oh, don't be so down, you may not realize it but you are improving a lot, and quite fast too. I'm sure you will soon be strong enough to fight Lord Beerus, Whis said. I see, I guess I'm being a little too desperate. Izuku said. Yes, and please don't push yourself too hard, it is possible for you to train too much, Whis said. Do you have any advice? What I can do to improve? Izuku asked as he sits down. Well, I suppose your fighting style is a bit sloppy, but it is all a part of your training. And I also noticed that you are very focused on attacking me and analyzing my movements to find an opening or a weakness. Now that is not a bad thing, but this causes your body to be too tense. Whis aid. Too tense? Izuku asked. Yes, being too tense may cause you to restrict your movements and may make you a little bit slow, so my only advice for you is to relax when you fight, Whis said. But, what about times where I face a danger that is a lot stronger than me, maybe someone as strong as you? Izuku asked. Being tense will not help you, but with that, it doesn't mean you should be too relaxed, otherwise you will let your guard down, so you should balance it out, Whis said. I understand, Izuku said. That's good. By the way, may I ask where Clara could be? Whis asked. She's at Union Academy, she's getting some help to repair Shirog, Izuku said. Did you know people who could assist her? You said you would help her before you would arrive, Whis asked. I just brought her to people that were good at that technical stuff. I was supposed to help, but I wasn't needed, so there wasn't a point to just stay and watch, Izuku said. I see, very well. I think that is enough training for today. You should return back to your school, Whis said. Izuku nods as he stands up. Thanks for the training, I'll return tomorrow, Izuku said as he bows. Alright, see you then, Whis said. Izuku nods as he then flies back to his school. Time skip. Izuku lands at his house and makes his way inside. As he enters, he sees his mother watching TV at the couch. Upon entering, she notices him. Izuku, I thought you went out to prepare for your summer camp training. Inko asked. It was postponed, Izuku said. And Izumi told me that instead of next week, it would be moved tomorrow, Inko said. Tomorrow? I didn't know that, Izuku said. Izumi told me that your teacher announced it in your group chat, Inko said. What group chat? Izuku asked. Did they forget to add you? Inko asked. Considering the fact I didn't know it existed, I guess, Izuku said. I see, well, you should go get ready, buy what you need and pack your things, Inko said. Yeah sure, Izuku said, as he walks away, but then Inko stops her son again. Izuku, are you hiding something else from me? Inko asked, looking at him. No, I'm not, Izuku said, lying and not looking at her. Please, Izuku, I've made so many mistakes. I'm a terrible mother and I've ignored you for almost your entire childhood, and the guilt it really hurts me. I'm sorry Izuku, I know it's too late, but I need to make things right, Inko said. Mom, it's fine, really, can I go to my room now? I'm going to start packing, Izuku said. All right, go ahead, Inko said, as Izuku leaves. Right as Izuku enters his room, he hears his phone ring. He looks into his surprise, he saw it was his sister calling him. He answers it. What do you want? Izuku asked. Just wanted to tell you that Aizawa-sensei changed the trip to tomorrow. So pack up. Where are you by the way? Izumi asked. I just arrived at home. I was gonna pack things and then go out to buy stuff, Izuku said. No need, I'm already buying them for you, Izumi said. What? Why? You don't need to, Izuku said. Look, I'm sorry, alright, we're siblings but I was such a damn jerk, you know. I was bullying you to protect you, Izumi said. You bullied me to protect me. That's the most idiotic thing I've ever heard, Izuku said. I know, wait, I gotta go, let's talk later, Izumi said as she ends the call. Izuku was surprised. It seems that Izumi also wanted to fix their relationship, but realistically, he didn't care at all. I guess I can't go train with Whis tomorrow, Izuku said with a sigh, as he goes to pack his things. Elsewhere, this kid is strong, master. Indeed, but do not worry, I have collected plenty of data from his battle. I assume you are ready to ambush the heroes soon. We just need to gather a few more villains, then we will be ready. I see, well, I have been working on something, and it is not a Nomu, but it is a special robot, or an android. Footsteps can be heard, and something enters the room. Shigaraki, meet Android Zero, your weapon to kill Izuku Midoriya. So you're going to be gone for a few days? Yoimiya asked through a cell phone call. It's just a summer training camp Yoimiya, I won't be gone for long, Izuku said, sitting on his bed. I'm gonna miss you, you know. Yoimiya asked. Why yeah, sure, Izuku said. Hey, when you come back, do you wanna go out on a date? Yoimiya asked shyly. Oh, on a date, are you sure? Izuku asked. Why yeah, I do, I really want to, can we? Yoimiya asked. Sure, we can go, Izuku said. Really? Awesome. Then I can't wait for you to come back. Oh, sorry, gotta go now, Pops got mad at me for yelling, hehe. Bye, Yoimiya said as the call ends. Izuku then puts his phone on the desk, as he then has a blank look on his face. On cue, Izumi walks in the room. Izuku, you ready for, what's up with you? Izumi asked. Izumi, how do I go on a date? Izuku asked, looking at her sister. What? Scene shift. You know my lord. Tomorrow night is the full moon, Whis said. Why should I care about that? Beerus asked. Well, Midoriya is a Saiyan, remember. If he looks at the moon, he will become a great ape, Whis said. And he's unaware of that, Beerus said. Correct, Whis said. So, what do you plan to do about that? Beerus asked. I'll inform him tomorrow, Whis said. Fine by me, it's time I get my sleep, Beerus said. Fair enough, Whis said. Time skip. Wait, why do we need to go with these extras? Katsuki asked, as 1A and 1B were facing each other. It's all a part of training, and also saves time, Aizawa said. Well, we already know that we are the top class. Monoma said. What did you say? Katsumi said. Bro, they have Izuku, what are we gonna do? Tetsu asked. He's the only one that is possibly a threat, and the only strong one, the rest are below us. Monoma said. I am gonna blow your mouth off. Katsuki yelled. Hey, stop, Kendo yelled as small fight happens. These children are a pain in the ass. Aizawa said. While nobody was looking, Izuku senses a familiar key. He turned around and noticed Whis hiding nearby. Whis, Izuku muttered as he walked to his teacher. Hello there Midoriya. It seems I may have arrived at a bad time, Whis said. No, it's actually a good timing since everyone is distracted, Izuku said. Alright then. Anyway, I'm here to tell you something important, Whis said. Oh, okay. Tell me, Izuku said. You see, you are a Saiyan, and one of the things a Saiyan has is the ability to transform into something known as the Great Ape, a powerful and giant ape. The reason I'm telling you this is because I want you to be careful, because if not, you transform into one and lose control. Whis said. What causes that transformation to happen? Izuku asked. By simply looking at a full moon, Whis said. Izuku was surprised that it could be triggered so easily. And how do I stop it? Izuku asked. You can only rely on your friends, and the weakness is by cutting off your tail, but that would be unfortunate because cutting off your tail will make you lose a lot of your power. Whis said. I'll just do my best to avoid it, Izuku said. Very well. Anyways, enjoy yourself. Whis said as he flies away. Izuku then walks back to the group, but right before he could, he was stopped by Dihaya. Hey, oh, Dihaya, do you need something? Izuku asked. Just wanted to say goodbye. Dihaya stutters. Is there something else you want to tell me? Izuku asked. Damn it, why is so hard to? Dihaya stutters, rubbing her hair, her face a bit red. What is it? Izuku asked. Look, you wanna go on a date when you come back? Dihaya asked. Wah, now you can't speak. Dihaya asked. Don't know what to say. Izuku said. You don't want to give it a chance? Dihaya asked. I can't. Izuku. It's time to go, Izumi said. Oh, I gotta go, see you. Izuku said as he walks away to catch up with his classmates. Damn it. Love is complicated, but he didn't tell me why he can't. I want answers, Dihaya said. Time skip. 1A and 1B have arrived at the location of the camp, as they all gather up and get ready. Welcome everyone, Mandalay said. I hope everyone is ready for their training. I heard though that most of you failed, so you guys better be ready. Pixie Bob said. I heard one of you carried your entire team. So where is that person? Tiger asked. That would be me, sir, Monoma said, as he was about to walk forward, but Kendo stops him. Quit it, Monoma. Apologies, sir, it's not him, Kendo said. That would be me, sir, Izuku said, walking forward. You seem strong, but I cannot just assume. I would like to test your strength, Tiger said. I guess I can't refuse, Izuku said, getting to his fighting position. Good, Tiger said. Without saying anything, Tiger quick rushes at Izuku and jumps to the air and tries to kick Izuku, but Izuku dodges to the side with ease. Izuku then rushes to Tiger and punches him far away in the blink of an eye. I guess this is my training now, Izuku said as he flies after Tiger. Oh, I guess we can leave them be, Mandalay said, as the summer training begins. Finally, we made it out, Kaminari said, grunting, as he falls to the ground. 1A and had finally arrived through the forest in the training. They were a little bit slower than 1B who had arrived a few minutes ago. Izumi was breathing heavily, catching her breath. She looks up and she sees that 1B seemed to be fixated on something. Hey, what's happening? Izumi asked. Just have a look, Kendo said, walking to the side. Izumi then sees that it was her own brother fighting Tiger, managing to fight the hero on his own without even having to turn Super Saiyan, but the white aura of ki surrounding him. Tiger attempts a flurry of punches, but Izuku follows with his own, resulting in their attacks to clash. You are very strong, but I know you are still holding back, so show me all of your strength. Tiger said. Izuku then jumps back and lands safely. Alright, if you say so, Izuku said, as he was about to transform into a Super Saiyan, but is stopped by Mandalay. That's enough, Mandalay said, which causes the kid and the hero to stop. You two are going way too far. If you wanted to spar, then save it for the actual training, Mandalay said. Oh, sorry. I guess we got a little carried away, Tiger said. Yes, you didn't even notice that everyone else has already arrived, Pixie Bob said. And if you did continue, you would destroy the area, Ragdoll said. Sorry, Izuku said. Oh, it's fine. Tiger was the one that insisted on challenging you, Pixie Bob said. Anyways, congratulations, you passed, Mandalay announced, which made all of 1A and 1B feel excited. The hero then looks at Izuku. You pass as well, Izuku. Quite impressive that you managed on your own again, Tiger, Mandalay said, and Izuku simply nods. Yeah, and you know, you're quite strong and muscular, you're perfect, Pixie Bob said, looking at Izuku, as she suddenly rushes to Izuku. Whoa, hey, what are you doing? Izuku said, jumping away and dodging her. Yeah, what's up with her? Aizawa asked. It's that time of the month of her to find a mate, Mandalay explained. Aren't you a bit too old to choose me to be a mate? Izuku asked. I am only 31. Now come here, Pixie Bob yelled. Hey, stay away from my brother, Izumi yelled. Should we help him? Shoto asked. Don't worry, I'll stop her, Ragdoll said. A little later, when Pixie Bob calms down and is dragged away, Izuku notices a kid wearing a red hat watching nearby, so he decided to approach him. Hey there, I'm Izuku Mido. The hero was cut off when the kid tried to punch him in the nuts, but Izuku quickly blocks it using his leg. Whoa, that wasn't nice, Izuku said. Hey, why did you try to attack him? Iida asked. The kid doesn't reply, but he walks away, looking at them with hate. Would it have really hurt if you had let him punch you in the nuts? Izumi asked. Of course it would have, Izuku said. Kota, why did you try to punch Midoriya? Mandalay asked. I don't wanna be around a bunch of people who wanna be heroes, Kota said with hate as he walks away. Tough kid, Katsuki said. You two are alike, Shoto said. Shut up, Katsuki said. Enough. Go get your luggage from the bus, then drop them in your rooms, then go have dinner at the mess hall. After that, you bathe and head to bed and get some rest. The real training starts tomorrow, Aizawa said, and as they enter, Mandalay walks to Izuku, which makes him stop on his tracks. I am sorry for my nephew. He doesn't like heroes because of certain reasons, Mandalay said. What for, if I may ask? Izuku asked. Maybe later. You go ahead and get your things first, Mandalay said. Izuku nods as he walks away. Time skip. After an enjoyable dinner together, everyone had decided to go to the hot spring to bathe together and enjoy their time. Ah, man, this is the best, Kaminari said, as the boys were enjoying the water together. Luckily for Izuku, the moon couldn't be seen, so he was able to enjoy the water under the night without having to worry about the moon. The full moon is only tonight, so I don't have to worry about that great ape transformation, Izuku thought, feeling some relief. Damn bro, I just noticed just how ripped you actually are. How hard do you train? Hiroshima asked. I just train with heat weights, Izuku said. Mineta, what are you doing? Shoto asked, as the purple-haired pervert was leaning his face on the wooden wall, which was the border between the boys' and the girls' bath. I need to see it, Mineta said as he used his quirk to quickly climb up the wall. Mineta, stop it, Iida yelled, and as the pervert was about to reach the top, he was stopped by none other than Kota, who was standing on the wall. Was all Mineta said before he gets kicked off by Kota. Yeah, thanks Kota, Mina said, but suddenly, Kota faints from the fear of falling off the wall. Kota, Izuku yelled, as he quickly jumped out of the pool and catches him quickly. "Hey, is he okay?" Momo asked from the other side. "Yeah, he's okay. He just fell unconscious," Izuku said. "You should go take him to Mandalay," Kaminari said. "I was planning to do so anyway," Izuku said with a sweat drop, looking at him as if he was the idiot. A little bit later, Izuku gently places Kota on a couch, as they were in Mandalay's office. "Thank you, Izuku," Mandalay said. "You're welcome. So, is it okay if I could ask why your nephew hates heroes?" "You're one yourself after all, so I hope he doesn't hate you for that," Izuku said. "He sort of does, but it is understandable. After the death of his parents, his perspective on heroes changed. He sees that heroes are no different from villains." Mandalay said. "Were his parents heroes?" Izuku asked. "Yes. Are you familiar with the pro-heroes, Water Hose?" Mandalay asked. "Yeah, I heard of them," Izuku said. "They were Kota's parents, and they were unfortunately killed by the villain, Muscular. He hates heroes because he believed that his parents abandoned him so that they could continue their jobs as heroes. He couldn't comprehend the fact that his parents died in the line of duty to stop a rampaging villain." Mandalay said, looking at the floor. "He's still young, so it would make sense," Izuku said. "Yes, not only does he hate me, but he also hates the rest of the wild pussycats, but I just hope that his perspective on heroes will change one day," Mandalay said. "I'm sure he will understand. Maybe I can talk to him," Izuku said. "It's not easy. He's always been cold and always distant himself from others, including me," Mandalay said. "It never hurts to try," Izuku said. Mandalay turns to look at him and smiles. "Thank you," Mandalay said. Izuku simply responds with a nod, as Izuku leaves to get changed and get some rest for an intense training session tomorrow. It was now the next day, and the intense training for the students has begun. Each student has their own training that would help them increase the strength of their quirk as well help them control their quirk better than before. As for Izuku, he decided that instead of focusing on physical training right away, he decided to meditate to calm his mind. He did a special kind of meditation that allowed him to carefully control his ki and slowly increase it. Izuku was floating in the air, as a small white aura surrounded him, and a few rocks were floating around him. Izuku was in fact being watched by Whis, as the angel had teleported to Izuku's location to help him train, and for Izuku, he was in a large mountain that had a flat top and he was far from any of his friends or teachers. Good. I think that will suffice," Whis said. With that, Izuku opens his eyes, and the aura of ki that surrounds him disappears. "Wow, that was actually nice. I should meditate more often," Izuku said. "Yes, but now, it's time to have some physical training. It will be a lot more difficult," Whis said as he taps his staff and he gets 20 NTON weights on his arms and legs, and a 25-ton weight vest, which forces him down. "Yuck," Izuku grunts. "You will train with those while you are in Super Saiyan 2. Whis said. "Oh, well, since you say I can turn Super Saiyan 2. Izuku said as he then transforms to Super Saiyan 2. The weights still felt quite heavy, but it was more bearable than staying in base form. "Go ahead now," Whis said. Izuku nods as he flies in the air and begins to punch and kick the air, as he began his intense training. Time skip. "Man, I am exhausted," Mina said. "Yeah, that training was intense," Kaminari said, as we can see 1A and 1B enjoying a dinner together. "Bakugo, you're really good at using a knife. That's quite surprising," Uraraka said, watching him cut vegetables well. "What the hell does that mean? It's not that hard to use a knife," Katsuki yelled. "Uraraka isn't wrong. It is surprising," Izumi said. "Yeah," Katsumi said. "If you don't know how to use a knife then you're AF *****ing idiot." Katsuki yelled. "Does he not know how to, not scream?" Monoma asked. "Maybe," Kirishima said. Izuku can be seen sitting separated from the group, as he was on his phone, having a call with Yoimiya. "So how has it been over there?" Yoimiya asked, as she was in her bed. "It's all right. The training has been quite intense, but it's bearable, but it's only been a day so it isn't so bad," Izuku said. "Oh, I see. I'm glad we were able to talk. There was nothing special today," just a regular day of class, but now that I got to talk to you, it's better now. Yoimiya said. This made Izuku blush a little. Really? But it's only been a day. Izuku said. I'm probably just excited for that date when you come back. Yoimiya said. Aye. Well, yeah, I guess. Izuku said. Hey, who you talking to? Izumi asked, walking towards him. Oh hey, I was just talking with my friend, Izuku said. Friend? We're going on a date, so we're not friends, we're a couple. Yoimiya yelled angrily, which was loud enough for Izumi to hear. Oh, that's it. Okay, my bad. Just wanted to tell you that it's time to eat, Izumi said, as she walks away. Oh, who was that? Yoimiya asked. That was my sister. Look, I gotta go, I'll talk to you later, Izuku said as he ends the call. On Yoimiya's end, she puts her phone down, as his face was red, she was blushing hard as she felt embarrassed on what had just happened, she then grabs her pillow and screams in it. Time skip. It was now later in the night. The moon wasn't a full moon, so he didn't have any problem being under the moon or looking at it. Everyone was just enjoying a dinner together while they interacted with each other. So you need to eat plenty too, Izuku? Sato asked, seeing the hero finish about 10 plates of food. Luckily a lot was made, so there was enough for everyone without having to worry about Izuku taking too much of the food. Yeah, I need it so that I can have energy to use my power, Izuku said. Everyone then began to converse with one another, and while that happened, Izuku notices Kota watching them afar, looking at them with anger. When Kota notices Izuku was looking at him, he then turns and walks away. So, Izuku decided to leave the group and follow Kota. A little later, Kota can be seen in his own spot by himself. These guys are stupid. Why the heck do these guys want to become heroes? Kota said. It's our dream, Kota. Izuku said. The boy turns around, surprised to see Izuku there, also hoping a bowl of curry. Hey, how did you find me? Kota asked. I just saw you walking this way. Izuku said. Fine, whatever. Just go away and leave me alone. Kota said. Your parents were water hoses, right? I'm sorry about what happened to them, Izuku said. How do you know that? Did Mandalay tell you? Kota asked. Yeah, Izuku said. Look, I don't care what you say. Heroes are no different from villains. They both use their own quirks to inflict violence, it's why I hate them. Kota said. Listen, Kota, your parents died in the line of duty. They died to protect the innocent. You need to understand that they never abandoned you to be heroes. There was a kid that was born quirkless, and his dream was to become a hero that could save everyone, but could never accept the reality that he didn't have quirk. This is how things are, Kota. We have to accept reality for how it is. I understand how you feel, but heroes use their quirk to fight villains, not for violence or for selfish reasons, Izuku said. Just go away. Leave me alone, Kota said. I guess words won't be enough to convince him. I can't blame him for that, Izuku thought. Alright. Sorry, I'll leave now, and also leave this for you, Izuku said, putting the bowl of curry on the ground. Kota turns to him, but suddenly, his face showed shock and fear. Hey, there's someone behind you, Kota said. Izuku looked at him confused, then he turns around, and he sees that someone was indeed floating in the air. What the? Who are you? Izuku asked, getting to his fighting stance. Izuku Midoriya. So we finally meet face to face. The name is Android Zero, and I'm here to eliminate you. Eliminate me, an assassin, Izuku thought. Suddenly, in the blink of an eye, Android Zero appears in front of Izuku and attempts to punch him, but Izuku quickly reacts and blocks the attack. This guy is no joke, Izuku thought. Kota, get out of here, Izuku yelled. The kid panics. What? You're gonna fight him? Kota asked. Of course, that's what a hero does, now get out of here, Izuku yelled. With that, Kota quickly runs past the two. The android then turns to Kota and attempts to go to attack him. Don't you dare, Izuku said as he punches Android Zero in the face, but the attack doesn't do much, well, because he's metal. That wasn't bad, but let's see how well you do, Android Zero said as he lands a powerful punch that launches Izuku far away. A fierce battle was about to start. Ugh! Izuku grunted as he is launched far away. He quickly recovers in the air, but Android Zero wasted no time and continued his flurry attacks. Izuku continues to block his attacks as he could do nothing to retaliate. This guy is strong, Izuku thought. He then transforms to a Super Saiyan, pushing Android Zero back. Izuku quickly puts his hand together and fires a Kamehameha at Android Zero, in which the attack hits. Alright, I got him, Izuku thought, but when the smoke subsided, it revealed that there was a barrier in front of the android. What? Izuku yelled. The android then aims his hand and fires a beam at Izuku, but it wasn't just an ordinary beam, it was the same Kamehameha that he had fired. He absorbed my attack, Izuku thought as he dodges the Kamehameha to the side. Izuku then flies towards the android and the two clash fists, causing a wind pressure to be released. Damn! This guy is tough, Izuku thought, but suddenly, Android Zero grabs his arm and punches Izuku in the gut, launching him away, and while Izuku is flying away, Android Zero continues chase. Izuku recovers in the air and manages to dodge a punch. Izuku then manages to punch the android in the face, stunning the android a bit. Izuku then puts his hand on his chest and fires a ki blast point blank. Before anything, a fist comes out of the smoke and attempts to punch Izuku, but he manages to dodge to the side. Izuku then does a spin and lands a kick on the back of the android's head, launching him to the ground. Izuku then fires a barrage of ki blasts at the android, who is still on the ground, to potentially damage him. But suddenly, a large ki beam is fired towards him, but Izuku manages to dodge the attack. That was close, Izuku muttered. You should really focus on fighting and talk less. Izuku is surprised when he hears the android was right next to him. When Izuku turns to the android, he was met with a hand. And before Izuku could react, the android lands a powerful energy blast, launching Izuku away. Before Izuku could recover, the android teleports in front of Izuku and grabs his leg, and then throws him to the ground. Right before Izuku hits the ground, he catches himself and pushes himself off the ground, barely dodging a punch from the android. Izuku tried to get away by flying backwards, but the android suddenly comes out of the smoke in the area and rushes to Izuku, and while flying, they both exchange punches and kicks, dodging, blocking and occasionally landing an attack. However, after one punch, the android grabs his arm and then throws Izuku to a tree, crashing through the tree and crashing through multiple trees, but Izuku eventually stops when he crashes in a mountain, stopping his movement. Yuck! Izuku groaned. It's over. It is quite clear that there is a difference in our power, Android Zero said as he slowly floated down and landed in front of him. Yeah, you're definitely strong, but I'm not done yet, Izuku said. You fool, I'm an android, and one good thing about me is I can use all of my energy without feeling exhausted, and just so you know, I still have 90% of my energy, Android Zero said. 90. He barely lost any energy and I already feel exhausted, Izuku thought. Suddenly, Android Zero attempts to land a punch, causing the area to be covered in smoke with just how powerful the attack was. But when the smoke subsides, it reveals that Izuku had caught his fist. Alright, I need to be serious, Izuku said as he transforms into Super Saiyan 2. Very well then, I will be more serious, Android Zero said as they both power up, breaking the area around them. Meanwhile, there's something happening, Aizawa said, looking at the forest. Is it a villain attack? Kirishima asked. I'm not too sure, but I have a feeling it is. Vlad King said. Wait, Kota is still in the forest. I need to, Mandalay yells. She stops when she sees Kota running towards him. Kota, Mandalay said, running towards him. Auntie, Kota said, as she ran to Mandalay and she hugs him tightly. Kota, are you okay? Are you hurt? Mandalay asked. I am okay, but Izuku is. Kota is cut off when something suddenly crashes on the ground in front of everyone. Get ready, Aizawa said, holding his scarf as everyone gets ready to use their quirks, but as the smoke subsides, it reveals Izuku, with parts of his clothes ripped and covered in cuts and dirt. Izuku, Izumi asked. Guys, get out of. Izuku said, but is cut off when Android Zero suddenly appears and does a flurry of attacks, but Izuku counters with his own and dodges. It really is a villain. Iida said. Wait, that guy is only after Izuku. Kota said. Only after Izuku. So an assassin. Aizawa said. And suddenly, the android lands a powerful punch in the gut, which makes him cough out blood. The android then does a powerful uppercut on Izuku's chin, launching him to the air. Suddenly, the android appears in front of him and attempts to kick him away, but Izuku manages to block it with both of his arms, but is launched away. Izuku fires a barrage of ki blasts at the android, but he deflects each ki blast and continues to charge at Izuku. This guy is not showing any signs of being tired. It feels like Super Saiyan 2 isn't even enough. Izuku thought. Suddenly, the android appears behind and does a backhand on the side of his head, launching Izuku away. Izuku manages to recover in the air, but Izuku feels exhausted and he was breathing heavily, blood and sweat dripping down his forehead. Android Zero slowly floats up and is some meters apart from Izuku. The hero could do nothing but stare at the android who showed no signs of exhaustion or feeling any pain. Still a healthy 85% left, Android Zero said. Izuku's eyes widened on hearing this. He was basically out of energy and the android only lost 15% of his energy. Suddenly, Android Zero appears behind Izuku, getting ready to karate chop him. Izuku tries to stop his attack, but was too late, as the android lands the attack. But not on his head. Not on his back, but on his tail. And due to the metal and the infusion of ki, the android manages to cut off the Saiyan's tail. Ugh! Izuku grunted as he felt immense pain. What was worst is that he felt a large decrease to his power, so much that he suddenly powered down to base form. NNGH, my power. Izuku grunted, when suddenly, Android Zero appeared in front of him and fired a point-blank beam of ki at his face, launching Izuku to the ground. This time Izuku couldn't recover and crashed into the ground, causing the area around him to break, forming a crater. Izuku groaned in pain. As he tried to get up, he was in immense pain and could barely move. Izuku then looks up as the android stares at him with the same cold look. Suddenly, the android aims both of his hands at Izuku and begins to fire a massive barrage of ki blasts at him. And unfortunately, Izuku could do nothing but take the attack. Just pretend only one person is doing this. Ah! Izuku screamed from the pain as he was engulfed in the wave of ki, until eventually. Boom! A massive explosion occurred, destroying everything around the area, the ground, the trees, all of it was destroyed around Izuku. And for Izuku, his screams slowly faded away, until nothing was heard. After the explosion, it releases a strong gust of wind which reaches everyone who saw the explosion from a distance. Damn, Kaminari said. Izuku. Izumi yelled as she quickly ran to the direction of the explosion. Izumi, wait, Momo said as everyone, including herself, began to chase after Izumi and also ran towards the explosion. Drip, drip, drip. As the group gets closer, rain suddenly begins to pour heavily. Izumi was worried and scared. She ran with all her might to see the outcome of the battle. She wished for her brother to be the one to defeat that villain. Eventually, she jumps out of a bunch of bushes and she finds a massive crater in the area. The forest, Pixie Bob said in horror, as everyone was also shocked at the damage done. Izuku, Izumi yelled, calling her brother's name, as she and everyone else began to look for Izuku. Aizawa looks up in the air and sees Android Zero floating in the air. Seeing this, Aizawa's eyes widened in realization. He realized the outcome of the battle. The android notices Aizawa looking at him, but does nothing as he suddenly turns around and flies away. No. Don't tell me. Aizawa muttered, walking towards the middle of the crater. Izumi goes to the middle of the crater, and there it was, a sight she didn't want to see. The dead body of Izuku, laying in a puddle. No. Izumi muttered as she slowly walked towards her brother's body. Oh no. Madorabro. Kirishima said as everyone was shocked at the scene. Others already began crying while others just stared in shock. This can't be real. Izumi muttered as tears were falling down from her eyes. She then stopped when she was right in front of her brother. Izuku, I haven't properly apologized, please no. Izumi said as she crouched to flip her brother so she could see his face. And unfortunately, she was met with lifeless eyes, no pupils, and no breathing. No, 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 Izumi screamed as she cried even more. She goes down and cries on his chest. As she couldn't accept it, it was the truth, but she couldn't accept it. Izumi has so much guilt and regret, and she hadn't properly reconciled with her brother. She wanted to be better, she wanted to fix their relationship. But it was too late. Izuku Midoriya was dead. Yuck. Well, this was unexpected. I didn't think he would lose. He was facing against an android, it was definitely tough for him. That brat needed to learn how to not hold back when the fight is serious. Come on Vegeta, it hasn't been that long since he learned Super Saiyan 2, he was definitely not holding back enough but doing his best. He's waking up. Izuku then opens his eyes, and he was met with 3 faces. Hey, how are you feeling? Ow. Uck. What happened? Izuku said as he sat up. You're dead. Hearing this, Izuku was surprised and he looked up at the one who said it. I'm dead. No, you can't be serious. Izuku said as he stood up. I'm sorry Midoriya, but it's true. Izuku turned around to see Goku, standing behind him and crossing his arms. Izuku then looked up and noticed a halo floating above him. Gee, that's right. I lost to the android. Izuku said. You're currently in Other World, specifically, King Kai's world. But in short, this is the overworld. I see. And, who are you guys? Izuku asked. Midoriya, they're the ones I mentioned when I talked to you, Goku said. You mean the other Saiyans? Izuku asked. That's right, brat. The name is Vegeta, the prince of all Saiyans. I'm Broly. I am Gohan. Although I can't really say it's nice to meet you because we didn't want you to lose. I know, but I really tried. I reached my limit, Izuku said. You fool, have you forgotten that you are a Saiyan? A Saiyan will always surpass their limits. Vegeta said. Calm down Vegeta, Midoriya doesn't know everything about a Saiyan. It hasn't even been that long since became a Saiyan so you shouldn't be so harsh on him, Goku said. That brat is the Saiyan of Universe 7, not Universe 6. Vegeta said. He wasn't born as a Saiyan like us, Vegeta. Gohan said. It's alright, but, that android is still out there. I need to stop him, Izuku said. You can't. The dead are not allowed to interfere with the mortal realm, Gohan said. And the Dragon Balls no longer exist in the present world. There's no possible way for Midoriya to become alive again, Goku said, crossing his arms. Well, there should be no problems. A voice said from behind. Everyone turns and were shocked to see none other than Whis. Whis. Izuku asked. What are you doing here, Whis? Goku asked. Lord Beerus found out that you were killed, so he wanted me to check on you, Whis said. I see. I'm sorry Whis. I wasn't strong enough to beat the android, Izuku said. You don't have to apologize, Midoriya. Although it was a bit surprising when we found out you were killed, Whis said. How did you know I died? Izuku asked. We saw it happen. We didn't want to interfere your battle because it was one that you needed to overcome on your own, Whis said. Oh, Izuku said as he then falls to the ground and sits. Well, I guess there's nothing I can do. I'm just dead, Izuku said. That is not the case, Midoriya. I am also here to pick you up, Whis said. He then points his staff at Izuku and he began to glow. After it died down, it revealed that the halo was gone. What? Izuku said. I am surprised you would do that, Whis. Gohan said. It was Lord Beerus who told me to do this, although I don't quite know the reason why he wanted to, Whis said. Hold on Whis, what's the point of bringing the brat back to Earth? It's quite clear that he has no chance against that android. He's just going to die again, Vegeta said. He's right. I can't stop the android at my current power, Izuku said. What if we train him here? Goku asked. Train him? That is not a bad idea, Whis said. Wait, but you said the dead can't interfere the mortal realm, right? But if I'm alive, then I shouldn't be here, right? Izuku asked. Well, it should be fine. I always went here to train even when I wasn't dead. Goku said. Are you sure? Izuku asked. Yes, I think it would be better for you. You will at least be able to truly understand how you are as a Saiyan. However, I cannot let him stay for long, so you can only train him for a month, Whis said. A month should be enough time, why don't we get started right away? Vegeta asked with a smirk. Okay, I'll be in your care, Izuku said, who then bowed. Scene shift. Author's note. His body was buried in the camp, it's better for them not to bring it, but technically now that he's revived, his body is gone from the ground. We see the students of 1A riding the bus back to UA. It was a silent moment for everyone as they were all processing the fact that their classmate had been killed. Izumi was silently sobbing, covering her face with her hands as she still felt guilty and regret that she couldn't fully apologize to her brother that she had bullied for so long. Aizawa was staring at the ground as he felt guilty for not trying to save his student. He knew just by observing from that battle that he wouldn't be much help, but he knew he could have done something. I can't sulk forever, it would do nothing, but damn it. I'm sorry Midoriya, Aizawa thought. Time skip, in an emergency meeting with the teachers and staff. So you're saying someone attacked the camp, and Izuku died, protecting you and your students? Zhongli said. And no. See cutie. Lisa said in dismay as she fell to the ground in shock, having tears in her eyes and covered her mouth. Lisa, Midnight said, going to help her. No. It wasn't a villain attack. It was an assassin. Whoever attacked was only targeting Midoriya. After the assassin killed Midoriya, he left the scene. I saw it with my own eyes, and I didn't do anything. Aizawa said, looking down in shame. It's not your fault, Aizawa. Present Mike said. You don't get it. I am his teacher. Whether I could be useful or useless, I should have helped him. Aizawa said. That assassin was strong. If Midoriya had lost, then we would have no chance against that assassin, Vlad King said. Who the hell would even send an assassin to kill a kid? Beidou asked. Midoriya is no ordinary kid. He is very strong, probably the strongest student in Union Academy, and considering his feats were seen from the sport festival, someone must have seen him as a threat, All Might said. But who would see him as a threat? Snipe asked. You don't think this has something to do with the League of Villains, does it? Himeko HSR asked. We can't be sure, but it is a possibility, Welt said. The students can't be safe if someone like that assassin is out there. Ningguang said. I was thinking about having dorms for the students, Nezu said. I think that's a good idea, Teresa said. I'll get to work with it as soon as possible, Smintos said. All right, I will cancel the classes tomorrow to keep the students safe. Dismissed, Nezu said as everyone slowly left, and with Lisa still crying and so, Midnight and Himeko HSR went with her. All for one, if you are the one who sent the assassin to kill my student, then I will make sure to end you once and for all. All Might thought in anger as he curled his hands into fists. And so, the night ended quietly and in tears. Izumi told what happened to Inko and the woman ended up heartbroken as the two embrace one another and cry for the loss of their brother-son. Yoimiya laid in bed as she cried when she heard the death of Izuku. Dihaya went to do intense training to get rid of her anger and frustration. Lisa was still crying in her home, still unable to get over it. The rest of UA was left heartbroken and distraught, and the news had reached almost all of the students of Union Academy, which shocked everyone, and it has now reached the public. The public knew that it is unsafe if the assassin was still out there, but they could do nothing but put their trust on the heroes. And the mastermind can be seen watching the screen, and all that could be seen was a grin that showed his victory. Excellent. We will attack Union Academy in 1 month, be prepared All Might. I will make sure to kill you this time. A month later, in the Kamino ward. You luck. It's finally over. All for one. All Might grunted. We see a heavily wounded All Might covered in blood and having some clothes ripped, steam coming out of his body as his time was running out. Izumi, Katsumi, Katsuki, Shoto, Momo, Kirishima and Iida were nearby as they were observing the fight. They had just saved Katsuki after he had been kidnapped by All for One. Is it finally over? Katsumi asked. I think it is, Izumi said. Yeah, All Might won, Kirishima said. However, to All Might's surprise, All for One began to laugh maniacally. Ha ha hey hey. Ha ha hey hey. Ha 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 ha. Ah ha 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 ha. What's so funny? All Might asked. Eventually All for One stopped laughing and grinned. You see, All Might, it is indeed over, but not for me, but for you, and all of your precious students. All for One said. Hearing this, All Might raised an eyebrow. My students. All Might then looks behind and sees the group hiding who were also watching him. They're fine. Wait, what does he mean? All Might thought. You see, All Might, this was all just a trap. I kidnapped your student to lure you and the other heroes here, because what you haven't realized is that I have sent an army of villains and monsters to UA. All for One said. Hearing this, All Might's eyes widened in shock. What? All Might said. Wait, what? Izumi asked. Kamui Woods then gets a phone notification. He looks at it and his eyes widened when it was an SOS message from UA. Shit. Kamui Woods cursed as he and the other pro heroes quickly left the area and rushes to UA to aid them. Damn it. All Might said. And you haven't realized, but I have a secret weapon. All for One said as strange marks appear on his neck. Gee, those marking. Is that Honkai energy? All Might thought, and before he could react, All for One creates an energy blade and stabs All Might right in the gut. Heard. All Might grunted as he spat out blood. All Might. Izumi yelled. All for One then slowly stands up, keeping the blade in his gut. All for One then grabs All Might by the neck as All Might's knees began to give out on him. And in the blink of an eye, the two of them disappear from the scene. Where did they go? Momo asked. Who knows, but we need to hurry back to UA. Shoto said. Everyone then quickly leave the area and hurries back to Union Academy. Please, everyone, be safe. Izumi thought. Unfortunately for Izumi, that was not the case. Back in UA, Himeko, Kiana said as she, Mei and Branya had tears in their eyes, seeing that their teacher, Murata Himeko, was dead on the ground. And we see that the area around UA was in ruins and some parts of the Union Academy building were destroyed. Many of the students and pro heroes and teachers were injured badly, being surrounded by many hilichurls, monsters from the Abyss Order, Honkai beasts, Antimatter Legion monsters and villains. Just to clarify, there are tons and tons of them, like basically overall there are thousands of monsters and stuff. Damn it, how could this have happened? Teresa said. What do we do? Most of us are injured. Yanqing said. Everyone else was basically on the ground while only a few remained standing, such as Nuvalit, Zhongli, Jingyuan and Durandal. It's over, heroes. You have lost, and your final hope has also been defeated. Shigaraki said, and on cue, All Might suddenly lands on the ground, bleeding badly and no longer in his buff form. All Might, Zhongli said in worry as All for One slowly floats down to the ground, the marking still on his neck as he falls to the ground. All Might, lost, Tokiyami asked. We are so dead, Mineta yelled. Shut up, you're not helping. March 7th said. He. To think it was this simple to finish the heroes and to defeat my arch-nemesis, and how easy it was to control these monsters and to make them even stronger. All for One said, chuckling as he held his head. Damn you, Durandal yelled as she charges at All for One. Wait, Durandal, Teresa said. As Durandal got closer, she attempts to hit him with her lance, but he teleports away and dodges the attack. Durandal quickly recovers and looks around for him, but before she could react, All for One had already appeared behind him and hit her with a powerful energy blast made of Honkai energy, point blank, causing a massive explosion. The attack launches Durandal away and she lands on the ground, injured badly, and her lance lands next to her. Those markings. Did he use Honkai energy on himself? Fu Hua asked. All right, I suppose it's time to finally finish this, All for One said, when suddenly out of nowhere, an arrow flies quickly at All for One, but he manages to catch the arrow, and then he breaks it. Yoimiya, Ayaka said, revealing it was an injured Yoimiya who fired the arrow at All for One, but she was shaking as she was exhausted and wounded, however she could no longer stand and falls to the ground. Hraaaagh. Dihaya yells as she rushes at All for One, infusing her fists in pyro. She then jumps in the air and attempts to punch All for One in the face, but before she could reach him, All for One lands a powerful uppercut on Dihaya's gut, launching her in the air and away. You uck. Dihaya groaned as she slowly stood up, holding her gut. Oh, still alive. Well, not for much longer, All For One said as he creates a large orb made of Honkai energy. What the? Welt said in shock as All For One doesn't waste any time and launches the attack, directly going towards Dihaya. Dihaya, Candace said. You luck. Hey, I hope I can at least block some of this attack. Dihaya said. As the attack gets closer, she closes her eyes, ready for her own demise. Dot dot dot, dot dot dot, dot dot dot, dot dot dot, dot dot dot. How long do you plan to close your eyes? Dihaya opens her eyes when she hears the voice, as it was a very familiar voice. Quote dot dot dot, Izuku, Dihaya asked, as it reveals that the one who saved her was none other than Izuku Midoriya, blocking the attack with one hand. Though this time, he was wearing something completely different. He is in base form and instead of blue, it's green. Izuku then throws the ball of energy to the air and it explodes. Don't worry, I'll take care of this, Izuku said. Hearing this, Dihaya smiles as she falls to the ground from exhaustion. Izuku, Yoimiya said with tears in her eyes. Impossible. You should be dead. All For One said. It doesn't matter. All that matters is I'm going to defeat you, Izuku said, pointing at All For One. Seeing this, the villain only chuckles. Defeat me, all by yourself. You seem quite confident, but it doesn't matter. Besides, how can you beat me when you cannot even beat the assassin I sent? All For One said. Izuku then notices Android Zero slowly floating down to the ground in front of him. Back from the dead. You will wish you stayed dead, Android Zero said. Move it, Izuku said as he walks forward. Cocky now. Fine then, I'll make sure you stay dead for go. Before Android Zero could finish, Izuku had already appeared in front of the android and fires a powerful energy blast point blank. Seeing this, everyone's eyes widened in shock to see the power of Izuku's attack. Soon enough, the dust cloud dies down, revealing that Android Zero was now gone, and all that was left was Izuku. What? All For One said in shock. The same one that killed him. He defeated him with a single attack. Aizawa asked himself in shock. So All For One, you either surrender or you'll end up like your android, Izuku said, putting his hand down and looking at All For One. Hee. Ha ha ha. Even if you manage to defeat my assassin, you still have no chance to defeat my army of monsters all in your own, All For One said. I know, but I know someone who can, Izuku said with a grin. All For One was confused at first when suddenly, he heard the cries of the monsters behind him. All For One turns around and is shocked to see that all of the monsters that he controlled were slowly disappearing from existence. What? All For One said. Wait. Are the monsters dying? Stell asked. It's like, they're disappearing from existence. Dan Heng said. And eventually, all the monsters disappeared, and all that were left were All For One and the League of Villains and other random villains. This is impossible. He cheated. He cheated, Shigaraki said. Nearby, we see someone standing on top of the building watching the events happening. His hand was pointed at the monsters and then he put his hand on his back and turns around. And who was this? Well, I did what you asked. Now you finish the rest, Beerus said with a grin as he walks away. Damn you, you luck. All For One groaned as he held his head in pain. All For One then began to power up, the Honkai markings spreading from his neck to around his body. Not good, he's losing control of the Honkai energy in his body. Fu Hua said. Og. All For One yelled as he held his head in pain. He released a wave of Honkai energy which causes the ground below him to break and he releases a pressure of wind which pushes some of the villains away. Damn it, he lost control, Teresa said, trying her best not to be pushed back by the wind. Hee. It seems the kid isn't fazed, Jing Yuan said as he looked at All For One without any fear. And suddenly, All For One blindly charges at Izuku, ready to attack him. Seeing this, Izuku immediately transforms to Super Saiyan 2. Yes, you know. All For One then lands a punch on Izuku's chest. However, to everyone's surprise, the attack does no damage to him and instead breaks All For One's hand. Izuku then punches All For One in the gut, launching him away. Izuku then teleports behind All For One and kicks All For One to the air. Izuku quickly flies right next to All For One and follows up the attack by punching him to the ground and causing All For One to crash into the ground. Izuku slowly floats to the ground and keeps his eyes on All For One, who was slowly standing up. All For One looks at Izuku and in the blink of an eye, he teleports behind Izuku and attempts to punch Izuku, but without looking he does a back kick which stuns All For One. Izuku then jumps and turns around, doing a roundhouse kick and launches All For One away, crashing into the ground. All For One then slowly gets up, showing signs of getting weaker. Looks like his body can't handle the Honkai energy anymore, Izuku said as All For One holds his head, returning back to consciousness. Damn it, I will not be defeated. I will not lose. I have planned everything. I was supposed to win. I was supposed to finish off All Might, but no. Why you had to get in my way, you damn brat. I swear, I will kill you. I will end you. Nobody cares. Izuku yells as he unleashes a Gaelic gun at All For One. The beam then hits All For One and is carried by the beam, launching him to a destroyed building, and upon hitting the destroyed building, a massive explosion occurs and the building breaks and crashes on top of All For One, finally defeating him. Got on my nerves, Izuku said as he powers down to base form. Well, I guess that's that, Izuku said as he let out a sigh. Izuku. The protagonist turns to see Yoimiya jumping to him. Izuku manages to react in time and catches her. Hey, what are you doing? You're injured, Izuku said. Why yeah, but I just got excited, when I saw you, Yoimiya said with a smile, but it was clear that she was forcing herself to stand to be next to him. I see. I mean, I'm sure it's surprising to see I'm alive, Izuku said. Yoimiya then hugs him and puts her face on his chest. I don't see care. I'm just happy to see you again, that you're alive, Yoimiya said with tears in her eyes and smiles. Why yeah, Izuku said, hugging her back. Damn it, Kurogiri, get us out of here, Shigaraki said as he and the rest of the villains quickly escape. And on cue, the rest of the heroes arrive, but too late, of course. Wait, is the battle over? Izumi asked, out of breath. I think so, Iida said. Damn it, plenty of people are injured, we need to help everyone, Kamui Wood said as they made their way to the many injured heroes and students. Everyone, Momo said, as the group ran to the rest of 1A. Hey guys, a little too late for the party, Kaminari said. Are you guys okay? Hiroshima asked. Fine. I think, but we got our asses saved, Jiro said. Why yeah, and you won't believe who saved us, Mina said. Sato then points towards the one who saved them and everyone looks at the direction that Sato was pointing, and when they saw who it was, everyone was shocked, especially Izumi. Wait, is that Izuku? Izumi asked. I think so, but, yeah, we're sure it's him, Mineta said. How the hell is he alive? Katsuki asked. I don't know, but, let's help the others first, Iida said. Everyone nods. Yeah, that's right, Izuku Midoriya is back. Elsewhere, I have to say, they did a fantastic job on training Midoriya, Beerus said. Indeed, he has made much progress, Whis said. Yep, now I'm gonna go ahead and have some good rest, Beerus said. I'm surprised you decided to assist Midoriya with destroying all those monsters, Whis said. I don't know, I just agreed to it, Beerus said. Very well. Also, what do you think, my lord, is he ready? Whis asked. Almost. He's almost ready, I still have some patience to wait, Beerus said. Very well then. Time to go, Whis said. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and now we will see you in the next video.